He just came off being, he didn't even make the team individually, didn't run any finals, but he came off being one of the biggest names from the Olympic Games in 2024. We are less than 3 years out from the LA Olympic Games in the United States. I already know that USA Track and Field, NBC, like they're all gearing up. Okay, Quincy is our guy. The next Olympic Games is coming up at home. How can we make sure that you're set up for success to at least try and do well there, qualify for the team and do well there? At Maryland, it seems like it's just going to be a glide path to make sure he's going to get to the Olympic Games, and then have a long career. That's what I think. And it makes the most sense.
The 200 to me seems like the next logical step. I've said that before. I'm saying it again. That's the next logical step. Because after what you did in LA to go back to that city a year ago, 2024, to me, it's like, well, that's clearly the next thing.
Yeah,
now, granted,
I agree.
2026, what if she wins an American title in the 200 for 2026?
I mean, it means nothing. Like,
I mean,
it'd be like doing a Diamond League race. In 2026, it's like a Diamond League race.
But I'm saying, like,
Right.
but it would
So
still
that's what
be
I'm
a
saying.
feather in her cap, though.
It would
No,
be a feather,
you-
but 2026 isn't going to mean as much as 2027 or 2028 in that event. You put him on a track with Noah, and it's kind of a close race. Noah wasn't running, but people don't understand tracks like that. So it's like, oh my gosh, this guy was supposed to beat the fastest man in the world. This guy could beat the Olympia if you want to do it. Speed is slow, man. He's slow. He's slow. It's just ridiculous, man. Like, if you want to rack up some numbers, you have to be strategic in how you rack up the viewership that he has and whoever they are. I don't know who they are.
So,
Do you know?
Quincy Wilson, high school star, one of the greatest high school athletes in a very, very long time, just recently announced that he signed and is committed to attend the University of Maryland in the fall of 2026. Is officially when he's going to be, at least, he still has one more year at high school in Bullis. I think it caused a bit of at least interest, to say the least, in terms of, like, considering all the schools that he did, pick with, like, Texas A&M and USC and UCLA and South Carolina. Picking Maryland is an interesting choice. I mean, let's jump in. I think, like, I don't know, was it a good idea? I guess, was it a good idea? And, like, what do we expect to see from him? Because Maryland is it's not a big school in terms of, like, the track world. What do you think?
No. I think that it tells me a lot about where he is mentally when it comes to being an athlete. Now, mind you, I don't know him. I don't even talk to anybody in his team. I'm just going off the optics. But if you make a choice like that, being an elite athlete clearly isn't at the top of your list as far as what you want to do right now. Now we see what he can do, and I think we as the viewers, especially as pundits, we see the potential and what he could be and what from a track standpoint would be the best for him to do as far as being the best and fastest runner. And that doesn't align with going to Maryland to be in the NCAA and to compete at that level. So I think what I expect or want for him doesn't align with what he wants for himself, and that's fine. But I think the disparity between what he wants and what the public wants was clearly indicated with his decision to go to Maryland. He wants to be a kid, man. He wants to be close to his family. He wants to have a college experience. He wants to, he's a star in Maryland, so he wants to milk that. And being the best isn't at the top of his priority list right now. The best in the world is not.
I don't know if I read.
Right
I don't read the decision the exact same way. Like, I see the same evidence and I come to a different conclusion. I feel like going to Maryland under this pretense, and we'll get into some of the reasons for in a moment, because I will say some things for the people in the back. I will definitely say some things for that group. That he's almost like he's pretending to be a college student. That's how I say it. He's pretending to be one,
now.
but he knows he's not. Because if he wanted to be a college track and field athlete, he would have went to a college track and field team.
Hmm.
And he purposefully, like, he's not delusional. He's literally choosing a program that I would dissuade almost anyone from going to who came to meet with me for recruiting consultation. If you are a men's track and field athlete, there would be a very select, I can't even think of the pocket of person who I would say this is a good idea, other than who said, I'm a Maryland student, like from the state of Maryland. I'm a high 3 star to low 4 star who wants to stay in state and compete, and I don't need any scholarship money. And all right, fine, I'll go to Maryland. But like him going there, what it tells me is that because maybe Valman is a good coach for him on an individual level. I'm not going to make any comments on Valman's coaching. I know that for their team to be as slow as it's been, they're just flat out not recruiting, which is a reflection on the budget. So if Quincy Wilson is getting a scholarship to go there, it's because they found specific money for him because they're not funding that program. You see what I'm saying? Like you don't have 48-second 400 runners in the Big Ten. If you're recruit, you don't skip those are not getting scholarships. You get what I'm saying? Like they're just there.
Hmm.
So and they don't have an indoor team. I remember I forgot about it, and Anderson brought it back up again. You're right. They don't have an indoor team,
They
and they don't have a
don't.
cross country team. For the
No
record,
cross
Maryland
country.
tried to cut men's track and only brought it back because of petitions and some things that kind of happened. Like they were attempting to get rid of it.
Yeah, they tried to get rid of everything, and
Like
outdoor track just saved
yeah,
itself, I think.
they kept outdoor track. So like he's not really going to the NCAA. That's kind of how I see it. He's just going to go there and wear a Maryland uniform and then do what Quincy does. Now he's going to be on
Mm.
campus. But he'll like his coaching circumstance. We don't know what it's going to look like. Some people think he might continue coaching, run with his Bullets coach. For all we know, or some version of back and forth. But it's like he basically is like, I'm going to pretend I'm a college student, and I think NIL is what's allowing him, and because the word NIL was invented for Quincy Wilson and nobody else in the track and field community. I'm sorry, I said what I said. Because if you think that NIL means money, it doesn't mean money for any of these kids. Go talk to them. Like if you are a 5 star on my list and you get NIL, I promise you it ain't anything looking like that basketball and football money. It's not that. We're talking like you better be happy if you get an extra 15K on top of your scholarship. I'd be shocked if anybody's getting much more than that and
Mm.
calling it NIL unless you have an actual name, image, and likeness, which he does. So I think he's in that special incubator where he can almost kind of like not have to be a pro, but be a pro, like kind of have the protection system of the NCAA around him, like kind of like a bubble. Cause I think he's going to be out here probably running indoor races at like Melrose and stuff like that
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
Like he's basically going to do what Quincy does and then go to Tom Jones wearing a yellow Maryland kit.
Oh,
That's what I think is going to
well,
happen.
if that's the case, then all right.
Yeah.
He's a kid, man. I, mean, I don't know. It's
I mean, he'll be the
we
king of
got
Maryland.
these.
I'll tell you that.
That's yeah, he will be Maryland. Because I agree. Like he's essentially operating as a professional, a quasi professional who just is going to be an NCAA. Because I looked up Maryland, Maryland has not scored a single point at the NCAAs in almost 20 years. I think 2006 was the last time they had a top eight finisher at NCAAs, indoors or out. Like
But
it's
they
been a
scored
long
three
time.
points at the Big Ten in 2024, 2025 outdoors. Three. And for the people in the back, the team that won had what, 180, 190, something like that. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna fact check it. So I'm not just making this up.
It's crazy. Because and think about what Quincy has coming up. He just came off being he didn't even make the team individually, didn't run any finals, but he came off being one of the biggest names from the Olympic Games in 2024. We are less than 3 years out from the LA Olympic Games in the United States. I already know that USA Track and Field, NBC, like they're all gearing up. Okay, Quincy is our guy. And I also have no idea, like no insight into his team or anything, but I would not be surprised if that's a factor of like, okay, the next Olympic Games is coming up at home. How can we make sure that you're set up for success to at least try and do well there, qualify for the team and do well there. He goes to, any of these big schools, Texas A&M, USC. Obviously, he's going to be a big name and all that, but like he may be a workhorse and end up coming out in 2, 3 years time, and it's like, okay, now I gotta run the Olympic trials. I gotta try and get to the Olympic Games. Like at Maryland, it seems like it's just going to be a glide path to make sure he's going to get to the Olympic Games, and then have a long career. That's what I think, and it makes the most sense. I
Well,
think it makes some sense.
well, I actually okay. I know I said a
Mm.
lot, but I'm gonna double back. First, I fact checked myself. Oregon won the Big Ten with 110 points,
Mm,
and Maryland had three. The team that was ahead of them had 15 points, which is Michigan State. So even the second worst team in the Big Ten is 5 times as good as Maryland. So, but yeah, let's just start the negotiations there. As for what you just said, though, on that piece, I think that okay, UCLA, USC. I thought UCLA was the choice to me. Like,
yeah.
but I get it. He's making his decision. The only logical explanation is that he wants to run it back and continue to do what he's been doing. Like that's what he wants. Like that's what I'm saying. Like he wants to continue doing the Quincy thing because I refuse to believe that a kid as fast as he is, who's run faster than any man that's run in the NCAA in the 400 for the past 2 seasons in a row, could not have gone to UCLA or USC or Texas A&M and been very straight with the coach. Like, hey, my goal is the Olympics. They've been like, we totally understand that because to be clear, people refer to the NCAA track like it's an actual league. It's not. They're just running seed times for nationals. That's all they're doing. That's all they're doing. They just pick meets to say, can you get a seed time? It's the reason why now that cross country is done, like, the girl from BYU, Jane Hedengren and Doris Lemongole, if they're gonna run indoors, they're literally gonna probably run this weekend or next weekend at BU, like their season opener, try to
Hmm.
go break a collegiate indoor record, and then probably never be seen again until the conference championship. They're just going to drop
Mm.
a seed time, try to go break a record. Whether we break the record or we don't, it's whatever because we're still coming off of our cross country training, and then we're not going to compete till March or like end of February, March, whenever their conference is probably early March.
Yeah.
They'll run conference, and even then they're going to be training through conference because we better than y'all anyway. This meet don't matter, and then we're going to be at NCAA's trying to run to win championships and break the collegiate conference NCAA record or whatever. Like that's their whole season. They're going to skip the whole season. So if Quincy told them, like, I'm gonna do me, they'd be like, fine, as long as you show up at nationals and score 10 points, I could care less. Then
Yo,
the
you
only
know
thing he'd
what?
have to do is run a 4x4. And with Maryland, he ain't gotta do that much. Because they trash. I said what I said.
Ouch.
Because they're not gonna get
Um,
transfers with no money.
it's just a weird, it's from a track and field standpoint, it's a weird decision, man. But from a standpoint of a kid that just likes to have fun, I think that's what makes sense. He wants to be close to home.
Yeah.
He's a star. He's a big star. And he just wants to have a college experience in his in the area that he's very well known in, yo.
Yeah.
I think that makes the most sense. Yo, has he ever been to the World Junior Championships?
No.
No, he's still a youth. He turns
Has he
18.
been to the World Youth Championships?
No, I don't
I
think
don't think
so.
No.
he cares about. I don't want to say he doesn't care about track. I know he loves track. I know he loves running. I don't know. I don't know if it's in him right now to where his goal supersedes his desire to have fun because he's a kid. So a lot of it's difficult to be serious when you have this type of star power. He's a legit star already.
He is.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
it's
don't
like what's a lot of people want to be good in track so that they can become a star. He's a star already. So to be that and then turn into someone who has purpose to be great in his sport, it's different for him. It's a different route, man. So that's the only thing that makes sense. He wants to have fun.
I mean, so here's the question. Because to clarify, I'm not saying that going to Maryland is a mistake. He is doing something unique. Basically, I didn't. He is. Correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like that's unprecedented for an athlete to come to the NCAA and try to use it in this type of strategic way. And I think NIL is what allowed him to come in this way. get some
Yeah.
money, be insulated, join the NCAA without joining the NCAA, for lack of a better term. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
because he's still got other pathways. He's not relying on Maryland to take him to meets even. He can just go wherever New Balance wants him to. Like New Balance Gainsborough Grand Prix, I expect him to be there because he's. I've seen they had all their NIL athletes. They tried to throw him in there into the fields, the ones they think they could justify. Even kids who, no disrespect, didn't belong running in races with the pros.
Hmm.
Like you weren't
Mm.
even going to win the high school national this year,
Yeah.
but you was running in a pro section because you were a New Balance NIL kid. So like that's going to happen. So I'm not saying that's a mistake if that's what he wants. It's a route I didn't even see coming. I guess that's the one piece. So he's kind of like showing this is a new model. But I'm also saying like this year, and this is the one thought. This past season, would we say that he had a successful season, Quincy Wilson?
2025.
Yeah, was it a success?
In my opinion, I
Yeah.
think it was a success. Yeah.
Do you
Was
think
it?
he thinks it was a success?
That's a good question.
Because the standard was he came off of making the Olympic trials
His
final,
standard
making
is
the 4
higher.
by 4
Yeah.
pool and going to the games. This year, he didn't make the USA final in the 400
It
at
was
all.
successful, but he underachieved.
Okay.
Ye- Yeah. Yeah. It's
That's why I'm asking, like, because that's what he just did. And I think he's trying to continue this energy going forward of having one foot in, one foot out on the kid experience, pretending you're like everybody else, but also wanting to do pro stuff.
Yeah, the expectations 2024 unfortunately set the expectations for what the public how the public sees Quincy because 2025 by almost every measure was better than 2024. It's just he didn't make the final at USA's and of course go to Worlds. But he literally ran fast. He ran drastically faster both indoors and out. He actually beat out a whole bunch of pros at professional meets, at least
Mm.
indoors and out. Again, it's like he did a lot. But yeah, I guess
For
it's
what the
weird.
sport is, none of that matters. Let's be real. Let's talk about him the way we talk about the pros for a moment. This is all the respect I can give the young man. Is that fair? To dignify his talent and his stage and everything he's accomplished and talk about him with the same energy. In this sport, Kenny Bednarek might be a better sprinter today than he ever was. But also in this sport, the only thing that matters is what happened in that final race at the Worlds. And because he's been in the exact same spot for the last 4 years, he's not better in the grand scheme. Even though I actually think he is a better sprinter this season than anything I've ever seen from him. So it's still a fail because it was
Yeah,
supposed to be gold.
if you look at it that way, he definitely underachieved. And but I don't know if he cares, man.
I mean, I think he cares. It's just that keep in mind he's young. Like
He's going to Maryland.
he's
I don't think he cares, man. I don't think he cares about being
he,
the best right now. I think
he's
he
so
cares about
young that
Mm,
everyone loves to win. Everyone loves to win.
but he's been
I
winning.
don't know if he's been winning, but he hasn't been winning on the highest level.
Yeah.
He hasn't been winning at the his potential. As far as his potential, he should be winning at a higher level. And I don't know if, and it's not for him to really care right now. He's young, man. I think it's made me understand how young he is.
Yeah. I mean,
I was going to say, okay, let's say he went to USC, Texas A&M, powerhouse schools. They've won, NCAA title, like championship school titles in the past, all that stuff. Let's say he went there, but then he comes out. Let's just say he goes pro in 2028, but he doesn't make the Olympic team. Let's say 2029 comes back, doesn't make the world team. Maybe makes the relays, but doesn't make it individually. But he wins a whole bunch of NCAA titles beforehand while he's at one of these schools. Would you take that over him going to Maryland and actually making the Olympic team individually and doing all that stuff? Like which would you rather have? Because I think he's looking long term.
I
Out
hear
of the
you.
two, I would take the long term approach, but I don't know if this is going to get him to that goal.
I would say option C, the one you didn't say, which is he goes to Maryland and he still doesn't make it.
Well,
Right.
Like
That's
like that's
what
what
could
I like
potentially
that
happen.
that's what I'm saying. Like you're betting the
uh,
house on something no one's ever done, and he might do it. But like when he talk about I'm gonna put the program on the map, I'm gonna say the offensive part out loud. Maryland don't want to be on the map. You don't have a track team with no scholarship budget in the Big Ten, scoring 3 points, tried to cut the thing, got rid of cross country and indoor. Remember, I can predict which NCAA programs will get cut because all you got to do is figure out, is this program a part of an athletic department that's been cut down to the nubs? The NCAA has minimums on how many sports you have to offer. And if you look at how many sports they already offer, you can determine if they're going to slash. Track is always the first thing you get rid of because you get rid of the men easy because of the way that we do Title IX allocations. It always slants towards having more women athletes, especially to balance out football, which Maryland has. And then the second issue that's always going to come up is going to be, well, you have cross country, indoor, and outdoor, and get us what they did. They got rid of two of them. The reason why is because by doing that, I got rid of two sports on my allocations to get down to the minimums. The only reason Washington State didn't cut indoor and outdoor track is because they were already at the minimums. They couldn't cut anymore. So what they did is said, we're going to be a distance track program, cross country only, make those distance runners technically go to a few meets. We can call it a track team, but what we really wanted to do was butcher the whole thing, and we weren't allowed to get rid of it because the NCAA says we can't be a member if we don't offer these sports. They were already at the minimums. That's the key. Maryland wasn't at the minimums, so they said, oh, we can slash this and we can slash that. And they were ready to get rid of outdoor track, and they said, fine, we'll let you keep it, but we won't fund it. That's basically what happened to Maryland. So when he comes there, I don't even think Quincy Wilson is enough to convince an entire athletic department that's still trying to figure out how to have a winning season in football. Because remember, football is going to govern all of this. Maryland is still trying to figure out how to do that. I mean, they've had like one winning season in the past, one or two in the last decade. I just looked it up. The last time they won a conference championship was 2001, and they was long before they got to the Big Ten. That's Maryland, and football funds everything. So when football is struggling, everything else is struggling. Why do you think Georgia is killing it in track and field recruiting? Because their football team is good. Why do you think Texas A&M is figuring it out? Because their football team brings in money. So now you have excess cash to throw around. That's how it works. USC, their football program has had high cachet for a long time. Whether they win or they lose sometimes, we have cash to throw around. Like that's that's my biggest concern is like, okay, he must be counting on his base and like the people who are riding with him, but it ain't got nothing to do with Maryland. He might want to do it for Maryland, and I respect that. But if he make it, it ain't gonna be Maryland. Trust. They don't have the infrastructure to help him. I mean, Valman might be able to help him as an individual, but I know what it is to be a coach who's trying to coach my way out of the limitations of my administration, where I'm trying to go beyond what they want to give me. And that happens to a lot of coaches, for the record. So like that's, I guess, like the full picture. But I'm like, if he thinks his people can do it and that being close to home can get it done, hey, he might be right. But I mean, these people must be able to do something that, correct me if I'm wrong, is there anybody who's ever done anything like this as a young athlete and it worked out? Because Arian Knighton crossed over and said, I'm going to the pro world.
It's too new. Like this whole landscape is just too new. Even with Arian Knighton, that was 2021. Like that was even earlier than like the landscape of, NIL and all this stuff. Because I'm thinking of, obviously we were just talking about Sydney. Sydney in 2017 is when she started at Kentucky. But like if this landscape of NIL existed back then, who knows what she would have done? Whether she would have stayed longer or maybe she would, I don't know, right? Like that's in my mind the most comparable of like a high school phenom going into college, like a true phenom. Quincy Wilson is like, I don't know. I can't think of anyone except Sydney to compare him to, and probably better than Sydney when talking about like his high school accolades. And he hasn't even finished his high school. His high school, right? He still has senior year left. Like this is a very, very different landscape. And I just see it as him going directly pro.
Who are the other phenoms? Like who would we say is his level in the last 10 years? Male or female at this point?
10 years?
10 years is a lot. I don't know.
I mean, 5 to 10 years. Like if we're talking, because we brought
nobody.
Up like sprinters, like okay, let's say sprinters, like sprinter hurdlers. Who else would we say is like within spitting distance of his level, who came up and had to make some types of decisions? Sydney had to make a decision. That's fair.
Sydney went to school. Mondo, I guess.
It'd be
Mondo
like
made a
that's
decision, but he's not a sprinter.
It'd be like if Letsile was thinking about going to the NCAA.
That's true.
I mean, Trayvon Bromell was, I mean, if you go all the way back to 10 years ago, I mean, he broke 10
Uh,
in high school.
It wouldn't be
it's
at this
not
level.
He was the
like
first 18 under 18 to break 10.
Yeah, but he
And then
wasn't
he
in
won NCAA.
contention.
He
He
won
wasn't in
wait, what did
NCAA
he
contention
his
to
do?
be a
first year.
Wait,
gold
Trayvon.
medalist. Quincy has the skill set to be a gold medalist at the World Championships in the 400 this year.
Yeah,
None of these athletes.
it's different. It's different
Yeah,
because
like
even
I said, let's see, because he was a medal threat.
he was a medal
It's
threat.
like,
Yeah,
yeah, and he was still older actually
actually,
than
yeah,
Quincy is.
he was actually
Right.
that's
Right.
crazy.
So
Because even
So
I was trying to think of like Noah Lyles, Michael Norman, but like
they've
even
crossed.
them,
Michael
if
Norman went to college and did 2 legit years,
but they
right,
and
weren't
Noah
like
crossed over.
they weren't Quincy level in high school.
no,
Like Quincy is a different
they
level.
weren't.
Let me back up. I'm gonna dispute that. Quincy, what did he finish at USA's? I just want to let's just talk it out the facts. At USA's, what did he finish in the four?
Oh
The
no, if
fifth
you go off of
or
how he
sixth?
finished, no, if you go off how he finished, then no, it's not comparable. I'm talking about the stats.
Like
The stats of the four alone.
What
Quincy relative to who he's competing against and like the times that he's putting down, he ran 44-1. Like
yeah,
that's
Okay,
crazy.
you're a medal
and
threat. No,
and
those guys did better than him at USA's. I think, but
yeah,
both
because
Noah
Noah and
and
Mike
Michael
were
Norman were in the finals. They almost made the team,
yeah.
but they stats wise weren't up there with the best in the world at that time. As far
We
as being a
yeah,
gold medal threat.
gold medal. We just spoke about
Now
You
Quincy
Sydney.
think Quincy
underachieved, like we
Wilson?
said. Quincy underachieved.
What happened
As we stated before.
in the Olympic? What didn't we just see the fastest 400-meter Olympic final, top to bottom, more or less?
Okay, yeah.
And Quincy never
Look
broken
at
44.
but look at this.
So we're still talking
2023.
about
Fair.
what he could do. So
Well,
let's
no,
I'm
no,
not
talking about
just
what he
throw.
could do.
Yeah,
What
well,
he
let's
could
let's,
do.
even
let's not say that
I'm
like throwing his
I'm
time
doing
in.
what you guys do with speed. I'm doing
no,
what
no,
you
no,
guys
no,
do
no.
with speed. I'm saying what he
Look,
could do.
Quincy ran 44.10 as a junior in high school. That would have won gold at the World Championships in 2022 and 2023. Noah Lyles, Michael Norman, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, they have never won run times in high school that would have won gold at a World Championships. Like it just and like a recent time frame, right? Like
Nice.
2023 was a recent year. You know what I'm saying? Like so it's not even
I'm
hypothetical.
actually going to disagree with that on this pretense. The pretense is it's not fair to take his best time of the season and throw it into the championship because we have leaderboards for the year. So if he wouldn't have fell there on the year with everybody else's best times, you're giving him a privilege you're not giving everyone else. So if you're in a season where Michael Norman is running 43.56, for example, you get what I'm saying? In 2022,
Well,
then
No,
no,
but what else do you
he's not
have
winning
then?
gold. But
What else
then
do you have?
you
You go strictly off of
you can
results and
no,
how
but
you
no,
finish.
I'm actually giving everybody the same test. The test is season best for Quincy, right? And then I would
Uh-huh.
compare that to everybody else's season best. And that can maybe be a projection of where he could fall. But you can't
No.
throw his season
Okay.
best
I think
into
what
the
I think
championship.
what we're doing is his season best this year could have potentially won previous championships, right?
Yeah, and
Now,
I'm saying I don't that's an argument that doesn't fly for me.
none of them none of their season's bests as high schoolers could have ever won any championship. That's what we're
right.
saying.
Okay.
That's the level that he's
Okay,
at,
now I understand what you're
Yeah,
saying. That's fair.
and I'm not
right?
even
Yeah,
going
but you
back
get
like
what I'm
to
saying too, right?
I see what you're saying. I see what you're
yeah,
saying.
but yeah, it's different. And I'm not even going back to like, oh, in 1980 something, right? He would have won. No, like this is in the past couple
Yeah.
years. Like guys
right.
from 2023 are still competing today and are
Yeah.
still young. So yeah,
He ran
that's what I
bad at
think.
USA, or he was injured, I guess. I don't know,
Yeah, I
but
mean it's just
See,
a little off.
here's my thought about
he's not he doesn't come across as on it. He might have some injuries. We don't know. I'm just saying. I'm going off the information we have. His potential, or what he's showing his potential is not meeting or coinciding with his results at these championships, whether it's U.S. championships, and he hasn't been to a major and open, so we have nothing to go off of there. It's not lining up, and now this decision just goes further along with that. Like I think he's
but that's
he's prioritizing different things right now,
yeah.
man.
I think he does want to win, but and
Everyone
obviously
wants to win.
no, I think he really does want to win badly, and I think he really does believe that this is the best way to get there, and he might be right because remember we're not on the team, like we're not with his crowd and his people, so I'm not disputing any of that. I'm only saying that there's some, because this is again my crazy mind coming from outside of track. The thing about track is we fall so in love with the clock, where we think that the clock is the most important component. Remember, knocking down threes, basketball or whatever, is like even hitting home runs in one field in baseball, or hitting threes on this court isn't the same as doing it on that court. Running that time on this track and running that time on that track on that day, it's a different experience. That's why when you cross over to the pro, it's like so many college athletes who were lighting it up in the NCAA first get onto the Diamond League. Hey, Dawn Harper Nelson was talking about this, about some of her training partners who were kind of figuring it out, where they're like, man, these times hit different when you're in the Diamond. It's not the same thing as when I was just running at the Texas relays. You think that the time is just the same time. And they're like, not. When you training and competing and traveling overseas and doing all of this, it's a whole different experience to run at that level. And that's why I say when you're doing the 1 foot in, 1 foot out, instead of fully crossing over, I don't believe it just rolls all the way up, because I'm pretty sure, I mean, I could be wrong. I feel like the only logical reason to go do this route is because he plans on riding this train all the way through to LA 2028. That's what I'm expecting. Yeah. I don't expect him to go do a year at Maryland and say, now I'm on the pro circuit. And I could be wrong, but if
he might.
Yeah, he might. It's just, I feel like if you're going to do that, then you might as well, especially it's in 2026. Remember, 2026, there is no Worlds and there is no Olympics. So like 2027, I guess there is, but like what I'm saying is like the Olympics, he could have did a year at I'm going to say it, a very competitive program.
A real program.
Real program. He could have did a year at a competitive program and then turned pro. You see what I'm saying? Like that's what the normal route has been: go to college, win at that level, then cross over. Am I missing it? That's been it, right? That's been it. So,
but what if he doesn't win?
We've never even had that conversation. What if he does? Do we think it's a hand?
Then what?
Do we think it's a foregone conclusion Quincy Wilson is going to win the NCAA championship in the 400? Because on talent he's supposed to, but keep in mind that 44 low Quincy is not who he was most of the season. Exactly. He was a 45 guy most of the year.
He lost the high school race in the 300. He lost to a high schooler in the 300.
It was an indoor
500.
600. Sorry, 600.
Oh, 600, 500. Some one of those. Like, yeah,
he lost them. He lost a few races to high school kids.
Right. So it's not like he's dominating. So just to assume he's going to win the NCAA championships.
The same kids who beat him this year are going to be there again.
And as an NCAA track athlete, seeing him come in and just assuming that he's going to win, if I'm a 400-meter contender, that's more motivation for me to make sure that I'm on point. Other programs to be on point, to make sure that, because it's a similar effect to say in the WNBA when Caitlin Clark is playing, there's going to be a lot of eyes on that game. You want to make sure you show out. It's going to have the same kind of effect. When people go against him, they're going to want to make sure that they're on point. And it's not going to be easy for him to just walk through that. Now, if he does, it'll say a lot about him. But I don't think he's a lock to win the NCAA championships, because it doesn't work like that in the NCAA. It's still a very elite competition. So if he doesn't, then what does that say about the decision? Does it matter?
I mean, well, I was gonna say, does it actually matter? Does it matter if he loses NCAAs, but then he goes on to have, I don't know, a successful pro career, like he makes Team USA and all that, or not even career, just like a year. Let's say he loses NCAAs in 2027 in his freshman year, but then he goes on to make Team USA and do whatever at Worlds.
I mean,
I don't think it matters.
For me, I don't think it matters.
That's fair.
We'd have to talk to him about this, but like I said, I don't know if he cares about being the best right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mondo.
I would not go that far. I would not go that far.
I'm just saying. I think.
I'm pretty sure he cares.
I care about. I think he cares. I care about 20. Well, let's say maybe he doesn't care about winning right now.
Oh yeah. I think
Maybe at some
Yeah, but
point he cares
I'm
about
pretty
winning.
sure he expects though. See, okay, I'm pretty sure he expects to dominate the NCAA next year. I mean, Sam Ogazi is still in the NCAA and conceivably could still be in a college uniform unless something changed. Because I'm looking at L.
2027. Remember, you
Yeah,
still got a whole year.
yeah. And I did the math because
Okay,
Ogazi
okay.
still has 2 more years of eligibility starting
Oh,
now.
okay, okay. Oh, wow. Okay, I
So
didn't even know
in
that.
and he was in the Olympic final in 2024, the
Yeah.
same Olympic final that Quincy did not earn the right to even show up for a prelim for yet. You see what I'm saying?
True.
Like the NCAA, like you know why? I remember when Justin Gatlin said this about Christian Miller going pro. His statement was maybe he should just go pro so he can avoid running against those dogs that they have in the NCAA. Meaning they're
Yeah,
trying to get to the pro
Mm,
level, and there's some guys there who can actually take you out. So if you just go to where they're trying to get, you ain't got to deal with them. Because when you show up and now you got to run with all these guys, like, again, the guys who are, you know, Kenyan Sola Ajayi and, a Cone and all of the other guys. You know what I mean? Saminu, Abdul Rashid
yeah.
Saminu, like all these guys, you gonna have to put up with them in the NCAA. It ain't like you just got an open reign. Makai Danzy was technically the fastest 400 meter on the clock. He's just finished his freshman season. He's a sophomore now. He ran 44.3. Now he plays football and runs track, so he might just focus on the football thing. But you get the point. Like it ain't like there's nobody who can run with him at that
right.
level. So I mean, it's conceivable that he could. I mean, I think he's going to win the NCAA. I do believe that. Like if I had to pick Quincy or the field, but I'm gonna be watching that field closely.
Look, Mondo Duplantis lost the NCAA Outdoor Championships in 2019. His only time in the NCAA, and then he went pro. Didn't matter. Literally, it was irrelevant.
Really?
That's
Yeah,
Really?
fair.
he lost to Chris Nielsen. He was second place. Now he got the NCAA record in the season and all that, but like it doesn't matter. And to the point that it's like, oh, who did he lose to? It literally didn't even matter because he went on to be successful years later. Now it's a question on if Quincy will be successful later, but like I just I just don't think for an athlete of his caliber coming out of high school, the NCAA is as important as we, the fans, want it to be. People want to see him, at USC, at Texas A&M, at
Yeah, yeah,
doing
yeah, yeah.
whatever. But like, he's so good. He's run 44-1 as a junior. He still has to run a senior year of high school. Who knows what he's going to run next year? It's like,
It feels weird watching him go to as the guy who covers high school and college. It's hard. It feels weird watching him run high school races. It felt weird last year.
It was weird last year. So wait a
he has a
second.
full year left.
But I'm saying like
Just so I'm clear, he's
he's
gonna be in high
pretending to be
school
like
again
everybody
next year.
else.
Yes,
This year, like he's about to run high school races now.
he's gearing up for his high school indoor season right now.
And
I
then
mean,
he's
I
gonna
don't
have a
know
high
how
school
many
season,
races he's
and
gonna
then he's gonna
run,
go to
but
Maryland. He's gonna go to Maryland the
In the
following.
yeah,
fall of 2026. That's when he steps on campus.
yeah. So we won't see him in a Maryland uniform till outdoor 2027
Yeah. Like
because they don't have indoor.
they don't have indoor.
So he'll be just he'll be doing Quincy things at Milrose and New Balance indoor or whatever, or maybe he'll just be
Yeah.
training through it. Who knows?
And that's why like the
So that's
start
why
of
I'm
our
like,
conversation was like the expectations. He's set the expectations so high already, like as a freshman, as a sophomore, that it's like it's tough to meet those expectations, but I think him going to Maryland to me makes the most sense because it'll give him the best path to actually meet, if not exceed those expectations and not get caught up in this whole NCAA,
you don't think
system as it exists
you
now.
don't think Joanna Hayes with UCLA could have been the best path?
It it could have, but I guess
I mean, it's the path he
I
wants. I agree with that, and it might even be the best for him. I mean, just the common sense logic was Joanna
From a
Hayes,
track and
Rod
field standpoint,
Benjamin,
from a track and field
Vernon
standpoint,
Norwood.
yeah, from a track and field standpoint, yeah, I think that would have been the best situation. But like I said, he's a star. So someone like him might need to remain grounded and stay close to
That's fair.
people who have influence on him and can take care of him and protect him. And I think that might be
I can see that.
I think
That's a valid
someone
point.
with this type of star power has to look at the situation differently as opposed to other people who aren't dealing with anything remotely close to what he's dealing with
I mean, if
from an
that were the
attention
case, he
standpoint.
could have ducked out and went to like Liberty University or something. You know what I mean? If you
Is
really
that is
want,
that in DC? Is that in DC
that's in
or
Virginia.
Maryland? It's
It's in
Virginia.
Virginia,
Okay,
yeah. But
it's not
like,
far.
like it's not terribly far. But I'm saying if you were just trying to like get off the grid, I mean, the number
Maybe.
two, it's not the same thing, but the number two recruit in the nation last year on the women's side went to Liberty University in the Conference USA. Obviously, Conference USA don't get number two recruit in the nation in any sport, but they got one in track. But that's because she didn't really want to be in with the noise. She had her own priorities about what she was about. Just using it as an example of like, she kind of went in the cut and she's obviously having success there, but there's no pressure on her. So she's just dominating the conference and working her way through her goals. And like she's always going to get, supreme attention from the program because it's like, who else we got who can realistically go to the national championship finals potentially in these events? Because that's what Quincy's about to do at Maryland. They ain't got nobody else who's going to any national championship finals on the men's side. That's why you said they've never scored a point in however many years.
I want to talk to Quincy. I wanna know
Yeah, well, we got to
why.
make it past his parents first. They got to approve the conversation. Just to
Yeah, I
clarify,
know. Hey, even if they got to be within arm's length of a
hey,
discussion,
hey, they can
I
sit
just, I
down
just,
too.
I just, sure. I'm just confused. I'm
And
just
I'm not as
confused by the decision.
confused. I
Outside of
see.
what I've said, outside of what we said, we're all
Yeah,
deliberating, but you know what I'm saying, off of the
Yeah,
information we
yeah.
have.
yeah. He's
But I
blazing his own
think,
path.
yeah, and his path is different. I totally get it, and I'm sure there's a valid reason. But I'd like to have an idea of where his head is at as far as what he wants, because I just think it just comes across like he's a kid that wants to have fun, and kids should be allowed to have fun.
That's fair. Well, maybe all the other super elite five-star athletes will start ducking out at outdoor only programs. I mean, maybe. I mean, if they trying to get to LA 2028, whoever's next up, they might need to give Maryland a call and say, maybe y'all could put in a good word, get some of that Quincy money.
Maybe. Mind you, I wish Washington State got rid of the track program before my records got broken. They waited, they waited a couple
I
years
thought you
too
were gonna
long.
say I wish they brought it back.
I wish that too, but hey, yeah, I wish that, sure. But if they're gonna get rid of it, they could have got rid of it a little bit earlier. But,
I would be shocked if Sydney didn't show up in 2026 on a track.
yo, I was thinking about that. I was thinking she had a really good season last year. What if what if she decided to have a baby or something?
Nah,
I
nah.
mean, she could in theory, but
People have come back from it. It's not a big Nia Ali came back from it, but it wasn't that big
yeah,
of a deal
but
for her.
she's
That's true. Yeah,
Shelly
I
Fraser Price came back from it. It wasn't
yeah,
that big of a deal for her. She's a phenomenal
that's
athlete.
true. Actually, yeah,
Anyone
that's
wants to
that's
do
yeah,
it,
true.
she can
I would
do
be
it. She's
surprised.
married. I'm sure her husband wants to have kids and stuff. I don't
Yeah,
know.
because of her age, she I think 2028 will be the end for her. That's what I expect. I think she's
Me
gonna go
too.
through 2028
Yeah,
and then just
yeah.
walk off the track and be like, I'm done.
Yeah,
And at that
I can
point,
see that.
will she even be 30 yet?
No,
I think she'll be 29, maybe.
something like
No,
that.
no. Yeah, because
I think
she's
she'll be
younger.
27.
Because she's 26
Oh,
now.
whoa, okay.
She's 26 now?
She's 26 now. So in 2028, she will not be 30
Okay.
because she
Yeah,
was born in
yeah.
1999. So that math is simple. So she will
Okay.
Uh,
not be 30 years old. And I think at that point, you see what I'm saying? Like, I expect she's just going to be done with the sport and move on to the next page of her life because she'll have done everything that there is to do. And at that point, she would just be chasing the ghost of herself. Almost like running
yeah.
Right.
like you don't know what to run for. Again, I think LeBron is only still playing in the league because he doesn't know what to do next. That's what I believe.
Hmm.
It's the only reason he's still there.
Uh, I don't
'Cause
know.
it's not because the issue is not whether he can do other stuff, but the reality
Isn't
is,
that most athletes?
well, it's like to some degree, but I think for him it's different. He's not passionate about anything else. When LeBron creates a school,
Hmm.
he's just doing something with his money and then walking away. The school is failing for the record. Like
Ouch.
it is what it is. Like it's been really struggling, but
What does that mean? How does the school fail?
like
Are the
well,
In
are the
terms of like
students
their
like
are the
academic,
students
yeah.
dumb?
So in the grand scheme of taking exams, they have
their
not been
academic performance hasn't
exceeding.
been good.
Whoa.
Like that doesn't mean like
I
but
didn't hear about that.
that doesn't mean that the kids are like incapable of learning. Right now, they're not performing well on exams.
Okay.
Right now, when they
Ouch.
give them exams, they don't perform well. But the whole point is like
Hmm.
he's not passionate about all this other stuff. Is what I'm trying to say. He just has money. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Well, yeah, he isn't really handling that anyways. That's
yeah,
something
like
he's funding.
if I
So
gave you $250 million, you would put your money in places, right? You would invest in things, you
yeah,
would have initiatives, but that doesn't mean that you're hyper passionate about each one of them. You would just realize that I got so much money, I don't know what to do with. I better start finding ways to use it for good. But you wouldn't be
yeah.
able to be like, so that's how when basketball ends, what is he going to wake up in the morning and be passionate about? And I think the answer is nothing, which is why I think he's still playing.
Well, I think
Mm.
most athletes would ride out their careers as long as possible if they could, because
Not Sydney,
I don't know if Sydney has that in her.
because
I
she
think she's
has
just
something
really
else to
good.
live for.
Right,
Her
right.
Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, when I'm saying the quiet part out loud, when she keeps saying in these interviews, the only thing that matters is my relationship with Jesus Christ, she's not lying. She's saying,
Right.
I've been to the top of the mountain. I realize it can't fulfill me. There's no other medal you could give me and no other record that's going to fulfill me. By the time she was 22, 23, she had already realized that track and field is a bridge to nowhere because I have everything you're supposed to have and there's nowhere else for me to go. She's just inventing stuff to run for because she's like, I guess I got to find competition. You're like, that's what it is. Like she's just, the great ones challenge themselves. She said that back in 2023, right?
Yep.
Like on
Yeah.
her, like when she did the
Or
American, like almost,
2020,
it was
maybe
20,
2022.
oh, was
23,
it,
she got injured. It's either
no,
22 or 24.
after the
20,
USA's in
right.
2023, she said that in the interview. I remember the quote because I remember clipping it
Oh, that
down.
could be true. Yeah, because that was
So
the year she tried to go for the
yeah,
400.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
the point is like she knows what the next step is. She's already a wife. She wants to be a mother. Her husband is intending, he's in ministry already, but intends to plant churches, and she's going to be supporting him on that path. Like she knows what the next thing is to be like, we're going all in, and this thing it actually matters to me. Now, whether everybody agrees with it is what they agree on, but she has something to wake up in the morning and do when track is done
Right.
that was going to mean something to her, regardless of whether we want to see her run another race. I don't think LeBron knows what to do. His kids are already raised. They're already older. Like two of them are in college. The other one's about to go to college. Like when he retires, his daughter is about to be out the house too. He's gonna retire and then come back to the house with just his wife. You know what I'm saying? Which is fine, but like he can't. It's not even like he's retiring to spend more time with the kids. Like the kids are
You
about to
know,
be
Yeah.
gone.
it's funny. I never heard her say anything about any of that.
Oh, she
I
said
heard her
that at
say,
on an
I heard her say
interview.
she wants to go into broadcasting.
No, she might do that too on the side. But she said that in an interview. Can't remember which one it was. It was early this year. No, it was Ready Set Go. That's when she said that
Really?
With Justin and Rodney. She said she talked about that.
Oh, good.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
so
I think the
that's her
answer,
next step.
I think the 2026 answer is the long jump.
She's not doing the long jump.
I
Well,
think
she might crack 21.
I
What does
think
that
she
get you?
should. I think she should stay the 21 for 2027
I
and
mean, if she
2028.
goes 21 in the long
2026 is
jump,
a good long jump year.
Nah,
It's a
that's also
good,
risky because
listen,
that's
man.
like,
The field is taking a hit. We all know this.
I mean,
Everyone's
I
taking
think
the
it's,
back burner. What could get the field at the forefront? Milando's not going to do it. He hasn't done it for years. He's been dominating. He's not pushing the field forward. You know who could push the field forward? Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone
I
jumping
mean,
7 meters and battling Tara,
that
the
would be,
hunt,
actually, that would be good. That'd actually
Tara,
be crazy.
all these hyphenated names.
Davis Woodhall.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
that
mean,
would get Athlos going. That'd be crazy,
oh my
actually.
gosh. That's not
Actually,
Athlos. That come on,
I
that's
mean,
not that
just
could
the
get
idea, just like
no.
the spectacle.
No,
Like,
we don't need that to be an Athlos thing. That needs to be for the whole sport. That's not just supposed to be for that
yeah,
crowd, whatever that
that
crowd is.
to be
That's
real
that's
though,
a that's a that's a sport wide thing that everyone will want to see. Everyone. Sydney McLaughlin
it'd
in
be
the long
good.
jump against Taryn
yeah,
Davis Woodall.
yeah. I don't think I'm looking at the
That needs
math
to
on
Sydney
it.
and
happen.
Tara, yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good. But
I mean, I don't know if she can go 21 and a half though.
In the long jump? What
She
was
can
she
go.
doing in high school?
She was almost 21 in high school.
wait,
She's beyond you know the athlete she is now in comparison with what she is in high school? If
I mean,
anything,
you think she
she's
can?
more of
Okay,
a specimen than Tara is.
you think she's gonna break 22?
I do. I strongly
I
believe
can
that
see her
if
in the
she applied
21.
herself in a
That
long
makes
jump, she
sense.
would be. And look at, I don't know if you guys know, my wife, um, is a long jumper. She came fourth at the Olympics back in the
Oh,
day.
okay.
So
Yeah, I didn't know, but congratulations
yeah,
to
Jade
her.
Johnson. Yeah, yeah. So she's seen I might have got that wrong. Maybe it wasn't fourth, maybe it was fifth. But
I think she got fifth in Beijing,
sorry,
right?
sorry, Jade. Sorry. Yeah. She was up there. She understands. She says Sydney's style of running, her cadence, her pace is perfect for a long jump runway. When she was doing the four hurdles, it's perfect for the long jump. Now, if you look at her athleticism, you look at the fact that she's being coached by Bobby Kersey, the potential to be able to do something in the long jump is not far-fetched. She could actually do something in it if she applied herself. Now, we've seen her apply herself at a bunch of different events on the track. Now, if she could cross over to the field, there wouldn't be a debate as far as whether she's the greatest women's track and field athlete in history. I think she
Yeah,
already is, even without doing field. But if she actually does
nah.
field,
If she does
then
field, then it would seal the deal.
seal it.
If she
And
was able
arguably
to, yeah.
the best athlete in the sport ever, men or women.
Oh yeah. Women
If she was to
definitely.
medal,
Yeah.
women definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
just keep it I just
no
count them
guy
as
has
two separate
dominated on the
sports.
track
So
and the field ever. No guy has ever dominated on the track and except for Carl.
Carl Lewis. I mean,
Carl. So
yeah,
sorry, except for Carl. Except for Carl. Okay, right. So she would put herself up there with that. That would be
yeah.
huge.
I mean, okay.
That's far though.
When you say
But
the
But
yeah,
if you're talking with someone that needs goals,
yeah.
obviously she
yeah,
needs
but you
something.
see how this is the problem. We got to invent goals
But she's
because
spoken
she
about
went.
this before. She actually has been begging Bobby to do the long jump.
Yeah.
I mean, I know
Even
the
there was a recent
scorecard
interview she
conversation
did
she
speak about
had.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
why not? Why not now?
the time I think the timing isn't great because I think with 2026 it's too risky to go into the long jump specifically and then come back for the 400 for her or whatever she wants to do in the 200 like the 2028 Olympics is like that is big like regardless 2026 and 27 are relevant for her in terms of like whatever
She can go shoot a
2028
movie.
yeah like 2028 in LA at home that is like the pinnacle of her career obviously she's done everything but it's like retire on
It's
top at home you know that's
it's a
what I
great
think
way to
she's
retire. It is
yeah
the
Yeah.
best possible way. Let me ask you a question. Do you think after winning two Olympics and in world record fashion that a third Olympics is that big of a deal to someone?
if it wasn't in LA probably not but it's in
But
LA
the
LA
LA
is
factor,
it's so big like it's in the United
it is big.
States it's
It's
at
big.
home like Carl Lewis in 84 and Michael Johnson in 96 like there's it is at home that's what I think is a big factor.
Yeah, I mean, I
I,
agree.
I don't know her personally, but I just think that different things motivate her.
I think it's big, but not big. That's what I would say. And then again, like I think she's committed as committed as anyone can be without being, or compelled, or even compelled to success without being obsessed about it. I think that's the
Hmm.
line. Like I don't think she doesn't come across as maniacal in her approach. It's just
Yeah,
that
no.
like she's walking that line, or like where she finds serenity in the competition, but at the end of the day, like she can just do things that other people can't do. And the only way for her to compete is she has to get outside of herself. That's why I'm like, either she's, when it comes to LA, she's running it back in the 400 hurdles. That to me, I don't think is what, if I was in the camp and you were asking my advice, it's like, okay, do you want to run the 400 hurdles again? And if the answer is no, like not really, I'd be like, then I don't really see the point. The
And I don't want
400,
to, no one say that no more.
yeah, and Femke left, so the 400 is makes more sense because she hasn't won it on that stage. That said, between now and then, to me, if the scorecard is what she wants, which is what she said on Ready Set Go, same interview as the other one, where the 200 to me seems like the next logical step. I've said that before. I'm saying it again. That's the next logical step because after what she did in LA, to go back to that city a year ago, 2024, to me, it's like, well, that's clearly the next thing.
Yeah,
Now,
I
granted,
agree.
2026, okay, what if she wins an American title in the 200 for 2026?
I mean, it means nothing.
I
Like
mean,
it'd be like
it's
doing a
it,
Diamond League race. In 2026, it's like a Diamond League race.
but
There's
I'm
no
saying like,
Right.
but it
So
would
so that's
still
what I'm
be a
saying.
feather in her cap, though.
It would be a
No,
feather, but 2026 isn't going to mean as much as 2027 or 2028 in that event.
I mean, because in 2027 she might have to go back to the four to get ready for 2028 or something. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
2026
so
would be
she
if
can
the two
double
two,
though.
four.
Like she can double in the 2-4 in 27, or maybe she does that at the Olympics too.
if
Like
anybody doubling in
No,
the two
that would
four right
be
now in the world.
Sydney
no.
could do it.
No, is
I mean,
anyone
could do
else
it.
doing it?
No, but
uh,
Sydney and Gabby could do it.
Sydney, Gabby could do it. Yeah, like they have the talent too.
Gabby was just trying to
I,
run a 200 this year, and we got her
Yeah,
doubling.
but Gabby,
well,
We got her
she
getting
was
to the
injured.
two
I mean,
first.
Gabby needs to start thinking about that four, man.
yeah, she's definitely that 4 is crazy. But she was just injured this year. I think this year
Yeah,
yeah, like she can be a 2-4 runner for sure.
yeah.
Um, and also let me be clear. When I say like LA is super important, I don't think, and I don't know like what Sydney's thought is. Like, I don't think for Sydney it's super important, but just like the scope of the sport, it's super important. Like all the different
100%.
aspects. That's what I'm thinking of. Sydney probably is like, sure, great, it's in LA, but it's like she'll do whatever. Like,
Yeah, I think she, I got a feeling about the long jump, man. I really think she's going to give it a go.
If she came back in 2029, she could give it a go. I just don't think she will. I think she's got between now and 2028, at which point she'll be at again when you're at it's kind of remember when Bolt retired, he had nothing left to do. Jordan left the first time because he was bored, and he left the second time for the same reason. Because it was like, I mean, yes, he would like other stuff was happening, but at the end of the day, it was just like, I really don't need to beat y'all again. You
I
see what
don't
I'm
want to
saying?
see
Like,
Sydney have wizard years though, man.
yeah, my
she
point.
won't. She
That's
Matter
won't.
of
why I
fact, if she
expect.
came back 2029, it would be like Jordan coming back to play baseball. If she did long jump in 2029, I wouldn't want to see that either.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I mean, the long jump is entirely the only way she's gonna do anything of that nature is I think 2026 is the only year I see where you can play around. But I don't I think the long jump is a little too far off the grid because the
Yeah.
two leads
is
you into
it.
the stuff that she needs, where the long takes her in a different direction. It's just like again, the 100 hurdles this year with her Grand Slam race, we had a whole bunch of discussion, but at the end of the day, like she finished second in the entire slam. Like, am I
Uh,
Mm.
right? Second overall in the points, which is a big deal because she came down to an open one and a 100 hurdle race and finished second in the entire slam. And
right.
when it comes to the hurdles, she was what, fourth in the actual hurdle race she was in,
Yeah,
fourth or
fourth or
fifth, something
fifth,
like
something
that.
like that.
Like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like they weren't like they wasn't like the pack was running far away from her. And there were some people who are legit hurdlers, obviously, who were behind her. And what that means is you trying to tell me she couldn't run 12.3 if she really wanted to and stayed in this event for the whole season? You really believe that? Because I don't. I think she could.
12-3. I think she could chip away at that. I do.
I
Yeah.
think she could run
Yeah.
12.3 something
Yeah.
at
It's a
some
weird
point in
event
the
though,
season.
man. It's
It's
like
tough. It's a tough event.
like
It's
she's not much of a turnover person. She's a graceful, boundy type of runner, which doesn't play into the hurdles
That's
that
true.
well.
yeah. I
So
mean,
dipping into 12-3, like we see 12-3 so much now, we think it's a
I
simple
was gonna
thing. Yo,
say
that's really fast, yo.
she could run
That's really
12.39,
fast.
and that's not gonna really get much.
I
Yeah,
mean,
Like,
well, it depends
yeah.
on,
I
well,
mean,
you mean
depends
getting
on the
out of the
race.
USAs
But
But
the
I
or the
long
mean,
world?
jump though.
when
Because
you
the
look at the
world's
lands,
12.39 was going to get you pretty far this year.
well, but that's the point. Like to get to the world champs, that's a
To
whole
get through
different thing.
USAs is like
It's like
It's a whole
it'd
different
be
machine.
tough. But I
But
mean, I think the long jump is kind of I don't know because even though I'm not like I don't think she's like okay I need to LA I want to do this that whatever I think she realizes I have to make sure I'm ready for LA to be able to go out on top, right? Like that's what I think she's looking forward to. And I don't know if the long jump I want to see her in the long jump. I want to see her. I want to see her do everything. But I just I don't know. I don't know
well,
if it'd be
yeah.
worth
Who was top
it.
three in the long jump? I'm looking up right now. Top three in the long jump
It was
at
Tara.
USA's.
It was at USA's. Oh,
Yeah,
Tara, Quanisha Burks, and no, Jasmine Moore didn't make it. Oh, Claire Bryant, I think. I don't
Claire
know the
Bryant.
order. Yeah, Claire
Okay.
Bryant.
So okay, Claire Bryant and sorry, Quincy Brooks is second.
Yeah.
Okay, Tara's doing her thing, right?
he's still on it.
Do you think that after a full season of training, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone can't beat Quanisha Burks in the long jump?
I don't know. Quanisha's kind of good. I mean,
She's good. I'm not saying she's bad.
no, no,
What
no.
I'm
I
saying is,
know.
I'm saying just purely off of talent and you have to
Man,
understand it's
Here's a
she's a specimen, man.
I have a can I ask the same question in a slightly different language?
Sure.
Okay, so here's the other word for it. If Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone was long jumping next to Quenisha Burks for the same duration from the time they were in college till now, who would you take?
oh, I mean, Sydney, no,
All right
without a
then.
question.
So, and so that now, because now the real question is, how much time do you think it would take Sydney to get to whatever you think her potential actually is from where she is right now?
Long jump, I don't think it takes as long as most events, man.
I think it would take her no more than a season.
I
Probably.
agree.
That's
I
probably true.
agree. Look
Yeah.
it, man.
I mean, okay,
This
so then
has to happen.
at that
Now I want
point
to see it
then,
happen.
at that point then you're saying after one season, she is capable of getting on the podium at Worlds or Olympics.
Yo, there was a lot of talks of people doing different events and how they would contend medal wise in
Mm.
these events. Out of all those people, whether it's Rai going to the 2 or Femke going to the 800 or I can't remember the other ones. Out of all of them that I heard, Sydney going to the long jump, she'd have the best chance to be a medal contender.
Yeah, well, Rai's not
I
going to be a
strongly
medal
believe
contender
that.
in the two. That's
No,
not,
he won't. He won't. And
No, no, no,
Femke isn't going to be a
that's
medal
totally
contender
not a
either.
thing.
Femke's not going to be a medal contender either.
Yeah, not in
And
the eight. No, that's totally not. Totally.
what were the other ones? I can't remember. It doesn't matter. All I
Yeah, a
know
whole
is
bunch.
her doing the long jump, 100% would be she's more of a medal contender. Mind you, the 200, she's a medal contender right
I was
away.
gonna say
The 200 is the more
think-
logical
that's-
choice on many
she's-
levels.
100%. But as far as a sports moment,
that would break the sport. Yeah.
I honestly think
sport
Sydney-
shifting moment. This is like
I honestly think
I'm
Sydney-
going from the track to the field. Like that's a level.
all the
You're not gonna
respect.
find many people that could do that.
I'll say it another way. All the respect in the world to Gabby Thomas, but Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone is just a better Gabby Thomas who decided to run 400 hurdles.
Mm.
Like that's what everything is telling me.
You know what?
Like
It's funny we're saying this because if anyone's going to beat Sydney in the 4, I think it would have to be someone like Gabby.
No.
I mean,
no.
I don't. Again,
Gabby.
I say
You're-
Gabby
you're
Thomas
wrong.
is a
You're wrong
200.
No.
I
I'm
think Gabby
saying
Thomas is a 200-meter sprinter. I really
She
do
has
believe that. I think
her
that's
flat-
her event, and everything else is something she could do, but isn't her best.
What
thing.
is a 200-meter sprinter? What is that?
Her? I
No,
mean,
it's a tweener event, man. You're either the 100, you're
yeah, but
either
some
a 100
people
meter
that's
sprinter
their
or a
event.
400 meter runner.
It's like Alex Ogando. That's his
He's more on the
event.
400 side. No,
Like,
I think that
that's his event.
I think that he is I think he's a 400-meter runner.
He's a
That's very
4-2 guy.
fast.
Yeah.
But the 2 is the only thing I've ever seen him have high level success in.
He was at Worlds. He made the semis in the 400 at Worlds this year.
You and I both
but-
know making the semis and making the
But
final.
you have to
ain't the same.
understand. I know I hear that.
Well-
Yeah, exactly. But you have to understand. She's a world champion, an Olympic champion. Did she win Worlds? She won the Olympics and the
On
Worlds.
the Olympics, yeah.
Who Gabby
In the
Thomas?
200,
Gabby, right?
Yeah, in the
Yeah, yeah.
200. So her ceiling in the 400 is going to be higher than someone like him if you're a 2-4 person.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. But I'm
the
saying
reason-
Likewise, she
I-
contends with Sydney. That's why
no.
Sydney's killing right now. She's got better speed than Paulinho and
yeah.
Nasser.
No, okay. This is why I hesitated because I think Sydney in the 4 has gone to a level that I'm not sure Gabby. I think Sydney is closer to Gabby's 21.6 than Gabby is to Sydney's 47. Like,
Yes,
like-
I agree with that.
Sydney.
Oh,
like
but you think speed can run 10-1? Okay. Come on.
No, but I mean,
I think
Sydney
she has a better chance of running 47 speed running 10-1.
probably okay. Yes, probably.
Respect.
but
No, I'm just messing with you. But yeah, no.
Gabby, like Sydney jumped into a random 200 and ran like she could have run 21 seconds if she really wanted to, whatever it was.
Yeah, 100%.
She was right on it, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
just
she has
don't-
the edge. I think she has the edge.
That same race she ran in LA would have gotten second at the Worlds this year.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
The,
Like
no, the
literally
time-wise,
just take
sorry.
the exact same performance and just
time-wise,
throw it
yeah.
out there. Which tells me
Even the
I'm
time?
pretty
Yeah, she ran
exact same time.
because they ran slow. Nobody
Yeah.
broke
Oh yeah,
21
that's right.
except
That's right.
or
And
22 except
you have
Melissa.
to remember it was a headwind as
Yeah.
well.
So,
So
which
Yeah,
tells me also that if Sydney decided this year to run the two, she
she
would
could have.
have gotten at least the silver medal. If
yeah.
you just
And she,
decided arbitrarily, I'm not running the four, I'm running the two this year.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm not
Tay,
forget double
no,
it. Let's just
that'd be
say
a
she
hot
chose
event.
the two.
That'd be a hot event too. Okay, so I
she
guess
she
this comes down to what you want to see because that
yeah
200 would be
yeah.
hot too. Because Gabby's gonna come back with a vengeance. She knows she wants Melissa bad,
Yeah. Well,
and
Yeah, yeah,
Melissa's
yeah.
Melissa
I
did her
just don't
thing.
think three women are beating Sydney in the 200 at USA's.
No, take
No,
Sydney's 400 race from Tokyo and just put her in the 200. Obviously, the splits are different, but like she would have gotten the silver medal. I'm more than confident that she
Yeah.
was in 21
I
something
agree.
form.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like, so I don't know. But the long jump, I think the thing with the long jump is it just provides, because we haven't seen anything from her. We saw her do the 200, we saw her do the 100, we saw her do the hurdles. We haven't seen the long jump since high school, right? So that is like, okay, what can she actually do? That's why it's a little more intriguing to a degree. I just don't know if
Yeah.
she's going to jump into it soon.
When I hear her talk about it, I've never heard her sound that excited about a venture.
I
I've never
mean,
heard her sound excited about the 400 like that, the 200, the 100, nothing. When she talks about the long jump, if you see some of the interviews, which you may have seen, so if you just watch it again, her energy is different. This is something that she actually really wants to do.
but that's because I think it's a no pressure event. Like for her, it would be like her again, every race she runs from the time she was a high school girl in ninth grade. She was supposed to win unless it was her first Olympics. Other than that, she was supposed to win for the most part.
Hmm.
And and now we've all again look at how we're talking. We all caught on. She goes to a 200 again. LA, I think she accidentally won that race. Just being real, I think she came off that turn and was like she's a competitor. Don't get me wrong, but I think that like she when it was over was kind of like that was a little easier than I thought it would be with the
She's that,
field that she was in there with.
yeah,
Because remember,
I
Brittany
see what you're saying.
Brown, Olympic medalist, Gabby Thomas, Olympic medalist, Abby Steiner, don't let her get healthy. Like, like that's the quote when it comes to Abby at this point, like former American champion. Like she takes them all down. And it wasn't
Yeah.
like she had to dip at the line. Like she just takes them
No,
down.
it was she obliterated
So
them.
and she won the term.
Yeah, by
So it
far.
wasn't
That's
like
that's
a come from
crazy.
behind either. It was like I
Yeah,
got
nah.
you and I still got you. So at that point, and I don't care where you were in your training. I don't keep like at that point, 'cause none of them came to that race thinking I'm about to let Sydney beat me.
She could run
Am I
something
right?
disgusting in that 200. She could do something disgusting in that 200.
Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
hey,
Whatever she
Yeah.
decides to do, whether it's the two or the long jump, it's going to be exciting to watch.
It would be good.
this is
It'll be
all.
good.
By the way, 2017, because we before as we start, 2017 was a pretty big year. Because I'm gonna just read names. I'm just scrolling and I'm telling you the names you're gonna recognize on this, top list. So Grace Stark was the fastest indoor 60 hurdler
Oh, for
as
high
a
school?
sophomore in high school, but she's fastest in the country at that time. Tara Davis Woodhall was number two in the hurdles, and number one in the 100 hurdles outdoors. And this is
I
her
think
senior year. Tia
Tara might have
Jones
Tara might have
was
won the
10th grade that year.
10th grade. I was
She's
gonna
number
say
three.
Tara definitely won the 60 meters at indoor nationals that
Yeah.
year.
And then Sydney, again, forget about the hurdles, 300 hurdles, 400 hurdles. Nobody else on this list is important. And then, Masai Russell's on this
Ouch.
list. My bad. She was in 11th grade while Sydney's in 12th grade. So, and
What?
she was third on that 400 hurdle list for the nation that year.
That is interesting. It's probably because of COVID year, she probably lost some stuff going into Kentucky.
Yeah. Well, this
Because
is 2017.
well, but that's what I mean. Like she was because she didn't finish it at Kentucky until 2023. If she was in high school in 2017, it's just like that seems like such a long time ago.
Mm,
I mean, hey,
seriously.
oh yeah, I feel you. I mean, I'm just telling you the names. I mean, I'm scrolling through. I mean, I'm skipping past all the distance runners for the moment, and then I'll just give you anything else that jumps off the page. I see.
So
Yeah, no, Sydney was Lena Irby Jackson was in 12th grade and only ranked sixth. Bailey Lear was 10th that year, and she was in 11th grade at the time.
Oh, oh,
And
You know, when
Um,
NCAA is the next year.
I mean, yeah, well, I mean, yeah, 52.8. That's what she. I mean, she might have been faster in years prior because the girls would be up and down in high school anyway. Like the boys are almost a linear curve going north, but the girls not so much. And then the girls 200. These are the names: Katia Seymour, barely, not even. Sydney's technically the fat. I bet you if I hit win, I bet you if I hit this 200 and hit, like, well, for all conditions, because Katia Seymour had a wind assisted time listed. So she's
Hmm.
number one at 22.89. Sydney's 22.96. Simone Mason is 23 flat. Then it's Sha'Carri Richardson and Twanisha Terry in that order. Rosie F. Young is nine.
Damn, they know each other since
Yeah.
then.
So like
Wow.
but I mean, like, I hear like what Anthony is saying, but I think in this generation, like in the last 10 to 15 years,
No,
but
she's
specifically the
still.
last 10, I'm saying like that, like high school athletes now they're on like little pro programs. Like they train in it, like there's more pressure. It's the same thing we see in other sports as well, where it's like there's more investment in youth sports coming from the other side. So it's like athletes are expected to get closer to their peak earlier, in my opinion. Whereas like I've my sentiments on 20, because like recruiting was different 20, 25 years ago, especially when you were like recruiting in a non-internet era. Like where
Yeah,
that's
no.
not how you do it versus now where it's like, if you're good, I should be able to find you. Like that's the way a college coach feels now. It's like, if I
Now.
can't Google it, why would I even want you?
Hmm.
So, but yeah, like these are the names, man. Like these I mean, yeah, they still. Grace Stark was also top 10 in the nation in the open 60 back then as well. Still as a 10th grader. She was the fastest 10th grader in the country at the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right.
So yeah, she's to sprinting, and you're talking about it in the off season. We are at a point where a bunch of fast people are getting ready to run, but before we got there, we've seen some of the world's fastest now man and woman. Hey, some of for those the people in the back, Noah Lyles, Melissa Jefferson-Wooden, and they went out there running, but it wasn't in a traditional race. We saw Noah Lyles running against, I guess it was a series of robots that were, chasing him down a track. None of those races seemed particularly competitive to me. Nevertheless, over 50 million people, from what I can tell online, actually tapped in with it. And then 160 million people watched a short video where he raced Mr. Beast himself sitting in a bathtub. I mean, he sat on some other stuff like a rowboat that was on some type of a, rolling tram or whatever. But 165 million people is a lot of people. And then on top of that, Melissa Jefferson-Wooden also got together with Mr. Beast to race against 100 men. And she did win, although it seemed to be close, at least the way they edited the cameras. So, with all of this happening, is this a good look for track and field? Like, is this moving the needle forward? Is this benefiting? Because they're being seen, they're being seen by somebody. And many of these people, at least the basic math that I can do, are not the same ones who've been watching the races, at least not in 2025. So, I mean, how do we feel about this?
This does nothing for track and field. Absolutely nothing. I think I think it brings it down a level. I think it lowers the prestige. I think it normalizes it. And I think I don't, I don't, I don't believe that numbers on YouTube are indicative of what people really think. It's funny because I don't, as high as the numbers are, I haven't really spoken to people who have even seen that race. So who's watching the race? Is it kids? Is it even adolescents? Or is it people who aren't really um contributors to society? If it's young kids that are just watching something over and over again, or like a streamer that happen to see it, I don't think those are numbers that are credible. Because I don't think it's credible on paper. I don't think it's credible as far as what's happening. You guys saw Nigel Green annihilate speed, the 10-0 sprinter, solid sprinter,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but it wasn't even close. And Nigel, he knows this too. He's not making a final at USA's. Um, or he might not have made the second round. I don't know, but Speed's not fast. He's not fast. If we're talking about real speed, he's not fast. We're here talking about him being on the Olympic team, or him having him line up with the fastest man in the world. We're putting him in the mix as far as people who are real sprinters. It's like that's why it was so important. If you're gonna race him, you have to really embarrass him. I saw him do. He was playing Salad with oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot his name. Um, footballer, soccer player. Um,
Hmm. I thought that's all the Go with Pro
I put it
stuff.
on my show. I put it in an episode when we were talking about speed. I put it on Sprint Culture, and he was this football player was salading him or not making him like crazy, right? It's embarrassing him, right? Which is what has to happen if you line up with him. Kevin Durant played basketball with him the other day. Speed messed up a couple times. He's like, I'm not playing with you, man. You're trash, man. You put him on the track with Noah, and it's kind of a close race. Noah wasn't running, but people don't understand track like that. So it's like, oh my gosh, this guy was almost beat the fastest man in the world. This guy could beat the Olympia if you wanted to. It's like, speed is slow, man. He's slow. He's slow. It's just ridiculous, man. Like if you want to rack up some numbers, you have to be strategic in how you rack up the viewership that he has and whoever they are, whoever they are. Do you know people who watch speed? People in your circle, do you know anybody who watches speed?
Not in my
I
circle.
don't.
Me
I
Not in my
neither.
definitely
circle.
don't.
Right.
Yeah. It's the
Yup.
And
people
the
on the
people I talk to,
outside. It's people who are on the outside of the track
I
community.
don't even know if it's people on the outside.
They're not on
Majority
the
of people I
inside.
speak to are outside of the track world. They don't know speed. They don't
Yeah,
watch
it's
speed.
it's a very different demographic. It's a
Yeah.
very, like you said, young
Yeah.
demographic of people in general.
Yeah. So I don't even know if we need to even target them. Like, oh no, all numbers are good numbers if you want to get people watching. Fine. You're not going to shut them out. But I'm just saying, who are these people? I don't know who they are.
Well,
They're not avid sports fans necessarily.
so I'm asking both of you all though. So like, okay, let's take Mr. Beast and his role in this, right? Like, because he had a role in all of everything we've mentioned as far as like, again, when you bring about show speed, which I know we'll even get to more of him in a moment. Like, I didn't know who he was till Mr. Beast gave me a reason to know. And Mr. Beast also called Noah and said, "Hey, remember Noah did a whole thing where he raced against like some overweight guy and like chased him
Hmm.
down. Like you see him like they did a series of gimmicks, and then like he came back to do this new rotation with the bathtub and the robot and the other robot and the what is it, the canoe, and then like Melissa, okay, like I think Melissa versus 100 Men, for example, I had stronger feelings about that.
I think it makes sense for Melissa though, because she legitimately is trying to build her profile. And
Yeah.
versus 100 men, it's kind of like you kind of have her at a handicap. It's a woman against men, and it's a spectacle, and it's a thing. Yeah, I think that was more understandable as
It made a
opposed to
little more sense
yeah.
Yeah,
versus like, yeah, Noah with robots and all these different
yeah.
things.
I mean, yeah, that was different. But then, okay, so let me ask about the Melissa versus 100 Men thing. Like, I mean, I'm assuming you all saw it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
I saw it. Yeah,
all
not
right.
that. I saw it after the fact,
Okay, yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. So,
clips
so,
of it, clips
so
of it, and
my,
because it's Melissa, right?
yeah. So my thought is, or my question is, okay, she goes out there and she runs it. So I ask again, what does that do? You think that enhances her profile? Because I think you've already established you don't think it enhances the sports profile.
I don't think it enhanced her profile that much either. But I
Mm.
think that she's in a place where she can. Okay, like if you're a 10-0 sprinter, it's hard to get under 9, really get those thousands because you're already up there. So with Noah, he's already popular. So for him to get more popular, something like that isn't going to help him. Her, popularity wise, she's lower. So these type of things will help her to raise her profile into a place that's a bit better. So for her, that's why I think it makes sense for her. Even if she was to race robot dogs, I'd be like, yeah, cool. That makes sense for her.
You think that make more sense than what she did?
No, not maybe not more sense, but it would be more understandable for her than for Noah.
Okay, 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 okay.
Noah was already big. So if you're already big, you don't need to be doing this stuff. This is you don't need to be a spectacle.
Well, I think to the point of like even us not knowing people who know IShowSpeed, but clearly he's one of the most famous and most popular people in the I don't know in the world, like on the internet, whatever. I think for Melissa and Noah, but let's just stick with Melissa for now. This does grow, like her doing this with Mr. Beast, this grows her profile because there's a massive segment of people that we don't engage with, whether they're young, whether they're like we just don't engage with, that are now familiar at some level with Melissa Jefferson-Wooden. That I think is at least growing her profile. I just think that the like popularity now is drastically different than how it was like I guess pre 2020 or just like pre internet in a sense where you have massive celebrities but like in different pockets of things. Like every time I go on like on Instagram or anywhere, I'll see somebody with millions of followers and I've never heard of this person in my life. And they're like an artist or they're a like even a sports star, somebody, but I just don't know who they are, or there's some content creator because they are so popular in their specific silo. So that's how Melissa and then even Noah as well, they're able to get more popular in that realm. But to your point, like it doesn't have anything, in my opinion, to do with track and field. Like it's for them individually, and it's not going to help track and field. That's what I think for
No,
sure.
no. And I don't think it's mainstream popularity. It's popularity in that world.
In that world, yeah,
But yo, man, and it's gimmicky. Like
it is.
it's cool. Like you want the numbers. This is the thing. People are just doing shit for numbers now, man. It's like
But I
it's
mean,
whack to
that's
me. Like, I mean, and there's certain people that will not do stuff like that. People that are in position that will not do stuff like that. Is okay. Is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah.
Can we
mm,
say Gilgeous-Alexander, Canada MVP? Is he gonna shoot against a robot with Mr. Beast because he wants to get some numbers up? No, like for one, the NBA has established themselves as a prestigious league. They, um, the people that are within that world are very conscious of what they put themselves in. And then if he's in there, he understands that his position is raising the stock of them. I think because track's numbers are so low and because the attention isn't there, it's believed that no matter how good you are, you're going to gain from these people because they got a lot of followers. When the reality is you are making them more popular. That's how they've gained
mm,
these followers. They talk and do things with people of importance. You are the person of importance to them. So they need you. And if they need you, you have more value than them. You don't need them generally. But now these streamers have gotten in a position where they've had so many people like this that they're considered because they have the numbers to be the draw. And
yeah.
you'd be lucky to be on the screen with Mr. Beast or IShowSpeed. But when you really think about it,
I think when you say it that way, like they bring it to the track world very authentically. I've talked about like how you market a race, specifically the way it gets marketed in the algorithm, because even NBC does it. Like when they're posting videos of races now, they spoil the race before you actually watch it, sometimes with the way they title it and package it and thumbnail it and so on and so forth. And certain athletes, again, if we're talking about in the American market anyway, don't sell, but they might be quality athletes. And therefore, you can create a plot line or not with them in the center, but with them as a supporting actress or a supporting actor. You get what I'm saying? So when I show Speed and Noah Lyles get together, what I think happens is that Noah Lyles becomes a supporting actor.
right.
Like he's not the star; he's the
And
supporting actor.
You're making
I show,
basically making Denzel a and
yeah,
figuratively speaking, you're making Denzel a supporting actor for someone who's usually an extra.
yeah. Well, the key is if it's a Denzel movie,
Skills wise, is an
yeah,
extra. It's the
Skills,
skills
yeah,
of an
yeah, yeah.
extra.
skills wise,
And then
skills wise, it's
Denzel
flip.
supporting this guy, like, yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
and I love the supporting role.
I,
Extra.
I mean, like, I hear from your side. I'm just thinking of in terms of like from the because when you go into a space, like No Allows has gone to a lot of spaces this past year, and I've commented on most of them on my channel because I mean, once I notice it, I'm like, hey, this is a thing, so let's have the conversation since people are going to do it anyway. So when he goes to Cam Newton's podcast, the thing is, Cam Newton has a space for a specific type of person who cared about him and the things that he cared about. Track and field is not one of those things. So when the sprinter comes to his platform, again, you are now the supporting actor on the Cam Newton show. Cam Newton's the star. You're the supporting you're the supporting person, and you might get exposed to a group of people. That's fair. The problem is exposure to a group of people who didn't come for what you're about. I don't believe that translates over because they still aren't about it. You see what I'm saying? Like you'd have to find a way. Like in other words, we're trying to go somewhere and bring them back. And I don't think that works. Now I know that there's different reasons why we're doing the gimmicks. I mean, again, Melissa Jefferson-Wooden with the 100 men. Anytime I see the whole women versus men thing, that's hard for me because as a college coach, and you know what, I'm gonna say, I apologize for what I'm about to say next. Some people are gonna have some different feelings, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Can we be real?
Of course.
Right,
go ahead.
It's your platform, right? So show me how far we can go. Yeah.
All right. So when I was a college coach, I was in the Northeast 10 conference. And for the time I was there, and I was, and like when I was in the NE10, I didn't have to, which is Division II. I didn't even my program was cross country only. So I'm a head coach cross country only program, but there's indoor outdoor for a lot of the other programs. So when I was there, in our conference was an athlete who, was competing for another school. I mean, you can look this up, fact check me on it. School was Franklin Pierce University. And the athlete, who shall remain nameless, you can look it up if you want to. The athlete, was running in college as a hurdler, men's hurdler, and going into his senior year, he was mysteriously not on the men's team anymore midway through the year and was on, the individual was on the women's team. So,
oh my gosh,
that individual who never made a conference final in the hurdles in Division II won the national championship.
That's right.
That same year on the other end. And it was a pretty big story. Remember, I'm coaching in this conference when all of this is going down. So my point is, when you take the whole, Serena Williams said it best, women's sports and men's sports are two separate sports. And as long as we celebrate them for what they are, we can enjoy them. There was a whole YouTube, since we talk about, clicks and views, there was a channel that did gymnasts who do things to get views. So the gymnast, he did a challenge where he had women's gymnastics athletes do men's gymnastics skills. And they were struggling to do the men's skills because guess what? People on the outside don't realize the men and the women don't do the same skills. They have different events that are scaled appropriately for the female body. When we watch women's gymnastics, we celebrate you for what you do. It's amazing. We just don't pretend that women's gymnastics and men's gymnastics are the same thing. They literally do different events. The bar is not even the same width because, just the way the body is designed, they're like, how do we make this so that we can really celebrate what women can do? And then we'll make this to celebrate what men can do. So in track, those lines get a little bit blurred because some of the events were technically running the same distance, but they're just like tennis, you could say that, but they're different sports. And that's why Serena Williams, I play women's tennis. Don't get it twisted. I don't do men's tennis. I recognize these two things are separate entities. Melissa Jefferson-Wooden, I looked it up. She would rate about 2,500 in the world if she were running against the men this year. I looked at the world athletics list. We're not including football players who run fast in the past, might have ran 10-3 in high school, who went to college and stopped running. We're not including guys in the NFL who ran fast. We're not including any of these people. We're just talking about active runners who in the year 2025 recorded a time in the 100-meter dash. That's where she fell. So putting her out there with men, my thought was, okay, I think it's like you're kind of counting on people's ignorance. Does that make sense? For it to be
right,
a feat where it's like, what? I don't think she's impressive because she's the fastest woman in the world this year. To me, she didn't need to do anything else.
The general people don't know that. That's why I think the point of it is to appeal to just the general public. The general public they don't know what 10-6 means.
No,
they don't know what 10-6, Melissa running 10-6 or anybody running 10-6 means. So putting her against 100 men, like average men or whatever, and seeing her beat them, even I'm pretty sure Mr. Beast beforehand knew that she was going to beat them because it was like a spectacle. Oh my gosh, a woman beats all these men.
Yeah, like he
That
selected the men.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He specifically selected, and there was like one guy who just happened to be super close or whatever. But like that draws in people who have no context about track and field. Doesn't mean they're going to come to track and field later, but it just give it's to
You mean
give
draw them
almost
into to his platform? You mean?
to his platform
Yes,
and
Oh,
to
okay, okay,
oh
I
yeah,
get it.
to his platform. I'm
that's what
putting on these
happens.
shows. Like literally, I'm putting on these shows and these things. It's like here's another like exciting situation. That's what it is.
And that's what happens. Those people go to, they get more fans off of the track athletes coming in because it's like, oh my gosh, Mr. Beast had the fastest man in the world, the fastest woman in the world. Same, so they're gonna rush. More people are gonna come. It gives credibility to that platform. It doesn't give credibility to track and field platform to be able to do that. It does nothing for the numbers as far as that's concerned. I'm good with Noah doing Cam Newton's podcast because those are sports fans. Those are people
At
who
the
actually appreciate
bare minimum.
at the yeah, majority of them. A lot of people that would be fans of Cam would be fans of athleticism and what an athlete has to say and what the athletes are in tune with sports culture. I think that's what it is. The Mr. Beast and Speed, their fans aren't necessarily in touch with sports culture.
Yeah.
No. Even look
But
at
Cam's is a cool platform. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a good look for Noah to be on stuff like that, beyond with
yeah.
Shannon Sharp like that. I think that's cool, and that raises the stock for track and field to me because you're in talks with real sports culture at a high level. You know what I'm saying? With people that were in organizations that were prestigious like the NFL, and
hmm
I think that's a good look. I like the fact that Noah like that. That's the stuff I think is tight. This gimmick is like you become a joke, man. It's some clown, man. Paul Pogba was the name of the footballer. I think that if you do stuff with these people, you have to embarrass them. And they're cool being embarrassed because their numbers are going to still go up. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to put yourself in a position where these people who are from an athletic standpoint are pretty regular. I should say people speed are pretty regular, are kind of contending with you.
Yeah. Well,
hmm
Anderson, I
Like
know you were going to say something on that.
Oh no, I was gonna say to the point, at least on the Mr. Beast, like look at how he structures the videos. Like it's not a video about Noah Lyles racing a robot. There's like five other challenges that occurred with other people, and then it got to Noah. Same thing with Melissa. It's like she did her thing, and then he does like a whole bunch of other, situations. Even the first one that Noah did, where he raced like a regular guy, you had like I think Tom Brady was in there. I think Ronaldo was in there. Like Mr. Beast sets it up to be a spectacle for his video. It's not about, okay, Noah Lyles and Melissa are racing. They're part of his spectacle. So it's all
exactly.
set up like that. It's all set up like
Right.
I
that.
was well, I was going to say on this piece, when you talk about platforms, I guess can we collectively offer a shout out to Shannon Sharp because it feels like he has tried to dignify track and field and
Him and
bring that
Chad
into his.
Ochocinco.
Oh yeah,
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 absolutely,
yeah.
man.
They've tried to
Yeah,
bring our community
100%.
in.
100%.
They even brought Cordell Tinch, and I was like, now look, I mean, he deserves to be there as an athlete. The problem is Cordell Tinch does not have the mass appeal, if that's safe to say.
Right.
Like he just doesn't have that. So coming to a platform like that, you can only invite him because he's just such an amazing athlete. But that brings me to another point though. See, this is where the gimmicks fall flat for me in a different way. People don't really know what track and field is. And people who've done this sport at any serious level, like serious high school even, like trying to make a state championship, that's I'll put that at the benchmark. Is that fair?
Hmm.
Like if
Sure.
you were that level and up, then you actually know something about track and field training. The sport becomes a sport when you see the way we work, the way we train. So when the athletes say how hard we work, that's what they mean. The problem is when y'all go out there to compete, it don't resemble anything like how you train. So as a result, when you compete, it feel like y'all just show up, a gun goes, and you run. If we're talking
Right.
about the short sprints, so to me, it would be how you just we did the like IShowSpeed, and we'll get to him as well. Like when people like him do his goes pros thing, if he were to go pro with track athletes, I don't want to see him just run 60 meters. I'd actually want to see him do a workout because that would be like, oh, this is what it means to
Right.
be a pro athlete. And when we go into these spaces, they only take the most basic elements of sprinting and present it. So as a result, it loses a lot of the integrity. There we go. It loses a lot of the integrity that makes it a sport. So that's why it's again like I can see why it's near impossible to bring someone back to the community from that type of an encounter because you're dumbing it down instead of like because again essentially track and field has a customer education problem that we've never figured out how to solve.
Well, and then
Mm.
and that's why I believe when you come across people with followings like that in that world, you got to be strategic with how you approach it. So I've spoken to Fred Curley about this. I spoke to Melissa about this. Melissa Jefferson-Wooden. If you come across speed, don't just race him. Have it set up so that he comes and does a workout, especially if it was in the fall. And when he came across Sha'Carri, he walked up to Sha'Carri like, "Oh, let's race," and she was like, "You're not racing me, but you can come and do a workout. You can come see what we do. You can," because she gets it. You have to put him in a position and put yourself in a position where you're showing the track, the sports world or whatever world that is, yo, what these guys do, regular people aren't just gonna be able to walk on and do. This is crazy what they do, the way what they put their bodies through and what you have to do to prep to be able to see the 10 seconds or the 9 seconds that you see on television. So you got to be strategic with how you get that world because the goal should be to be going there to get fans. Obviously, for yourself, yeah, okay, cool. But for the sport, you represent the sport. So just because you're going to get some attention doesn't mean that you should go on some platform and put on a clown suit because you're going to get some numbers. I'm exaggerating.
Metaphorically
I'm
speaking.
taking it for yeah. I'm taking it as another step. I'm saying you're not showing your true face. You're not showing the sport's true face. You're jumping into their world under their um, structure, and you're doing what's going to get them the numbers that they need. And it shouldn't be like that because you're the draw. And other sports realize that, and they're not going to put themselves in a position where they're going to make themselves become less or only benefit that platform.
But is that what I don't know, is that going to be any level of draw? I guess like where's the incentive for the athlete? Because you say like, yeah, it should be for the better of the sport, but like Noah, I don't know. I
I
don't
think
know if
IShowSpeed throws up in the workout. You get clicks. IShowSpeed
yeah.
almost dies doing 6 300s. Let me say
That
that.
yeah, okay, that's true.
He would not
That
Noah
is
make it do
true.
Lyles,
six
Noah
three
Lyles
hundred.
almost kills IShowSpeed.
I don't even think he
Oh,
could do 6 300 at 70%.
You get it. What's
no, but I'm saying that if it's not gonna benefit you, not gonna benefit the sport, and it's not gonna be the sport's not gonna be seen in a certain light, and you're not gonna benefit in the way that you're portrayed, then you just don't do it.
I
Is
I
that cool?
think I think on an individual level, it does slightly benefit these athletes. Like Noah, obviously Noah's raced, or done stuff with speed and stuff. Like I think it benefits them, even if it's marginally, but it isn't good for the sport as a whole.
No, I think it benefited speed more than Noah though.
Oh yeah, yeah. It benefits speed more than Noah.
It
Yeah,
legitimized speed when
a
he
hundred
uses that in his
percent.
title.
Oh
Because
yeah,
that was the
absolutely.
thing, the issue that like Noah, you said it a long time ago, Anson. Like, I'm not to stop what you're saying. Like Noah was coming off the Olympic 100, and now we
Yes.
let a random race him in the grand scheme of track, who wants to tell people he's fast, and then proceeded to really try to drive that home, which can only denigrate the actual sport, which I think we're all on the same page with. But like,
Yeah.
that's really concerning.
It is 100% concerning, but
Yes.
I just don't think, I think for Noah, racing speed right after, there was probably who knows, millions of people who did not watch Noah win the Olympic gold medal, right? But once they saw him race speed, obviously not great for the sport. I think it was really, really bad for the sport. The fact that like, I don't care if he was jumping, doing whatever, he almost lost to IShowSpeed. But now there's millions and millions of people who are just even barely aware of Noah Lyles as an individual. That's why I think it's good for Noah as an individual. And now you have Mr. Beast in 2025 doing another thing with Noah, saying, okay, he's the world's fastest man, racing a robot, et cetera, et cetera. It just continues on for Noah. not good for the sport. I think it's terrible for the sport. But like as individuals, I think they just benefit in this landscape of you're just trying to get views, you're just trying to get attention. That's what it's about. And bringing IShowSpeed to your whole practice, I think yeah, there's some ways you can kind of work that around. But Noah rolls up, puts on some spikes in not even like in the off season in November and races speed in a 50 meters. That's going to be way easier to be able to get views and attention than doing a whole workout and planning a whole situation. That's why I think it's not, and our sport is, I guess I want to say it's like people are desperate for attention.
Yeah.
Like
That's yeah,
desperate.
that's the
That's what's happening.
the summary. The state it shows what the state of the sport is
That's
because
what it is.
individually that's what athletes need to do. They need to get attention for themselves to keep their stock high, and then they can demand money that others can't, and blah blah blah. That's the state of the sport. But I think that it's gonna stay that way unless there's some change. Look, I don't want to judge. I don't want to judge people in that position because it's not easy to
Mhm.
be like, nah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I get it, right? I'm just saying, and we're all just saying what the actual overall picture is. And you can't deny that. But I think there needs to be a way to shift that. And I think that people don't realize the power that they have. Noah may not have cared or may not have even known or understood the power that he has to shift the narrative of the sport. I think in general, Noah's, I mean, you can see how he handled the whole GSD situation. Noah is thinking about himself usually. And I think to be in that position of the fastest man in the world, that might even be prerequisite. Talk to a lot of people that know people who are the fastest men in the world. A lot of times they have that type of mentality. It's
Yeah.
about them.
Well,
But he needs he someone needs to be in that position that understands the big picture, or at least their people need to understand the big picture because there's a lot of responsibility that comes with being the fastest man in the world, more so than the fastest woman in the world, because you represent the sport. Noah being neck and neck with IShowSpeed, even though he wasn't running, people don't know that because Noah, even when he's not trying to run fast, looks fast. So they think he's running, right? And they're like, this is the fastest man in the world. That's what they do over there. Speed was right there. Speed could be an Olympian. He could be a gold medalist if you're really trained.
that's exactly that was the takeaway, the prevailing takeaway. I mean, Speed
Yeah.
goes out there with his, I Show Speed Goes Pro initiative. And I was paying attention, and maybe it's coming, but I didn't see him do an I Show Speed Goes Pro with track athletes. He went out there with, and again, he called himself Speed. So he goes out there with Suni Lee for gymnastics. He goes out there with Kevin Durant for basketball, with Tom Brady and Danny Amendola, who are retired, for football. He did Joey Chestnut, for, competitive eating. He goes out there with it, like wrestling, with it, either Randy Orton or something like that. Like, I mean, maybe I'm getting the name wrong, but he's done
Yeah,
all of
Randy
these
Orton. Yep.
things. And while doing it, keep in mind, like he's still I Show Speed, and he's constantly been branded around "I'm fast, I'm fast." Now he's showcased at this point that, I mean, at least according to what they're giving us, he's actually an amazing athlete. Like in terms of like
He is.
his vertical leap is
Mhm.
definitely not pedestrian. He is actually in the upper tiers by far. Clearing 40. He did an NBA combine sprint where technically they're claiming that he was faster than any NBA player has ever been in the three-quarter court sprint, which is been a little less than 30 meters, if I'm doing the math correct. So it's really not that far. But then again, he does a 40-yard dash where he had to struggle, ran multiple times to slightly break 4.5, 4:49, which to me, that math tells me he's getting slower as the race is going, which makes sense.
Right.
Like speed endurance is not really there. But at the end of this, the whole point is he's been out here. I mean, again, we have the Nigel Green race. We have, the Noah Loud race in the background. I mean, he just raced some other guy. I don't really know who he is. Some guy who was doing backflips beforehand. Like apparently this footage just came out. I mean, Ashton Hall happened earlier this year. Like he challenged Tyreek Hill, pulled up on him, and Tyreek Hill said no. This is before
Oh
Tyreek
my
Hill got
gosh.
hurt. So like this is all the I Show Speed saga. Like this is what it is. So, I feel like he's his own entity now. And because Noah Lyles raced him, and he walked away from that race saying, I'm gonna make the Olympics. And then he goes up to Sha'Carri with the whole challenge thing that then guess, she told him come train. So I guess, well, one, do we ever expect to see IShowSpeed actually run a race? That's one. Like a real track race. Two, if he does, what do we think it's going to actually look like? And
He
three,
get annihilated.
at the end of all of this, Speed has done a tremendous amount to advance himself as a legitimate athlete. And remember, it's called IShowSpeed Goes Pro. So it's 100% projected. I mean, I watched some of the episodes where the episode ends, where whoever the pro is, who he shows up with, is supposed to authenticate, is IShowSpeed ready to go pro? And of course, it's contrived. But what they're saying is, has he impressed you enough to let you know whether he has the baseline skills required to be a pro in this sport potentially? Like, that's what the question is. And some of the answers were yes. Again, it might be a little contrived, but he did do some impressive stuff, especially for somebody who's not in those sports, to then come over to that space and then, like things that most of us would struggle to do if we just came over and said, "Hey, go do it. You're gonna got 48 hours to get ready. Now we're gonna go test you and put you out there." So, yeah. Do we ever expect to see him run? That's the question.
No, because it really it's all contrived. It could do it is totally different from actually doing it. So the value is in the could. As soon as he actually tries and doesn't do it, then that's out the window. It's that the value for that is gone. So the whole, oh, I think he could. That's where the value is, and they know that. His team would know that, so they're going to milk that to death. But I don't. I respect what he's doing for himself. But if we're just going to stay on track, I don't respect what he does for track because he's utilizing it for himself. He doesn't necessarily give a shit what happens with track and field. You know who I like? I like Jake Paul and what he's doing because he's really dedicated himself to boxing. He actually does the work. He actually is promoting events, creating events, promoting fighters. He's doing something that's contributing to the sport clearly, and also is dedicating his life to actually honing his skills in the craft. And he'll talk shit to other fighters and stuff like that. He's not going to fight them. We know he's not going to, but at least he's putting in some investment there to the sport. He's not just, he was popular without boxing.
Yeah.
Speed could be popular without track. Yeah, cool. But he's not contributing to it. Jake Paul is clearly contributing to boxing, and I can respect that. I don't respect what Speed's doing for track and field. He's not doing anything for it.
He's taken away
Yes.
from track. He's definitely taking away from track and field.
Yes.
Definitely.
He could never do it. He could never do it.
When you say never, I mean, what do you mean by never?
He could never make an Olympic team.
Okay, when you say an Olympic team, that's a different bar. I'm thinking
he could never run 10-2, 10-3, 10-5.
I think he could though.
I think he could.
I've seen enough now. I've seen enough to convince me.
Full training. You think he could run 10-5?
Full training, yeah. I think yeah.
You think you run 10-4?
Not in, like, he would need 2 years, meaning year one, I think he'd be a 10-6 to 11-0 sprinter on any given day, like depending on the win factor, all that. That's what the math tells me he's about between there. Year two of training, when he takes that next step, if in the right circumstances, I think he could probably see 10-4.
I think he could see 10-3.
I think after like a year or two, I think he could run 10-2, 10-1. I think he's a very, very talented athlete, just a general athlete. He has a lot of talent, but he doesn't have track talent, like the mechanics and all those specifics that are necessary for track and field. I wouldn't, if he let's say he lined up like Tyreek Hill in that whatever that offhand race, that little race in California, he wouldn't be able. He'd maybe be at the back of the pack or something like that.
Yeah.
But after a year or two of training and getting his mechanics right, I actually think IShowSpeed would surprise a lot of people. I think he has more talent than we actually think. Now, that doesn't
run 10-1.
Win the
again,
fisted with like a
with
plus
with
4.0.
with all the training.
With a
with
plus four, with a plus four
that,
five, he could probably run
to,
10.19
but to the point of like, if he
in two
dedicates.
years on Jake Paul status.
Well, I was gonna say I don't think he needs a win. I think if he dedicated himself like a Jake Paul to track and field, and he I don't know he joined one of these like Lance or Dennis or some group for dedicated 2 years to actually train, I think he is capable of getting down there. Now he's what, like 20, 21 years old. I think he's more talented than we think. That's what I think. It's just that he's putting himself in all these different areas, obviously, again, just for the attention for himself, that he's just not giving himself the chance to say, okay, let me dedicate myself and actually see what I can do. I do think he has the potential.
See, this is where his value is. The could have. We're really saying that he could do maybe he could do these things.
Oh yeah.
Now, if he
Yeah.
tries it and doesn't do it, there's no discussion to have anymore, and he can't milk that. The fact that we're
Hmm.
saying that he could, no, I mean, I've seen a lot of athletically gifted people in my life that weren't going to necessarily be fast. They could jump high, they could do some unique things with their bodies, and we don't know, but they don't
Yeah.
have millions and millions of followers, right?
I
So
mean,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
that's what's
It's
giving him
true.
the credibility and adding to his could have because he's popular.
I
That's
mean,
true.
I just be. I mean, hey, I don't know where he lives now, but allegedly he's from Ohio. I just looked it up. If he went to the Mid American Conference right now, because I'm pretty sure he has a bunch of college eligibility, he probably ain't never went. So if he goes to the Mid American Conference and runs for one of them Ohio schools, Kent State, Akron, Miami, Ohio, which look like they basically just kind of because they got 11-1 guys still technically running for them all the way at the bottom of their roster. He could get on the team. If he
Oh
went
yeah.
out there and ran, he wouldn't win the conference. No, he wouldn't. But I think even in his first year, he'd probably have a prayer of making the Mid American Conference final. And a year in, he'd probably be in that final and have a chance to battle for a medal. I'd say battle. He probably maybe because at that point you'd have to run about 10.4. I could see in 2 years he could probably be about there.
I can see him
Hmm.
running 10-4.
Okay, maybe like 2 years. I
10-1, Anderson?
I probably overestimated like
10-1.
2 years.
10-1 feels a little.
It's fast. That 10-1 is like crazy fast. I do think though, if he actually dedicated himself for many, many years, maybe like 4 or 5 years,
Mhm.
I think he would surprise a lot of people. I just think he is more talented and like just more athletic than we actually do think.
Yeah.
And he would need to like really put himself into all those things that make sprinting like possible. All those mechanics, the technique, like those technical aspects, like build like all those things. And I think he would surprise people. Now, that has nothing to do with like I think he's I mean, all due respect, I think he's really, really bad for like track and field, what he's doing now in terms of
Yeah.
like essentially taking a lot of attention away. And to your point, Anson, it is very much that idea of like, okay, what could he do? That's essentially what like generates the interest, generates money, and generates attention, like the possibility of what he could do or what anyone could do. But yeah, I don't know. I think he's super talented. I do
Here's my
think he's talented.
here's
Is he
my
taking
question.
drugs? Is he taking drugs? You take drugs? To run that 10-1?
I mean,
Yo, look at if he had a show that was Road to 9 seconds, I'd watch that show and I'd respect that show.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
Well,
road to nine
so
seconds.
here's my question.
I would rate him if he did something like that. Yo, I can run 9 seconds. I'm dedicate myself to da 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 da. And I'm gonna see. I would rate that.
I
I would
mean,
rate that.
so here's my question then.
And don't test him. Let him do his thing.
I mean, I'm not on that train, but here's my question. With everything okay, remember DK Metcalf in LA?
Yeah.
If IShowSpeed called and said, I want a lane at Melrose, I want a lane at New Balance Indoor, should he get one?
Yes.
No. No. No.
No.
No. No.
No.
No.
Wait.
No.
No. No. Look at that. I as a track fan would like to see that because he's going to get obliterated, right?
No, but no, how but how is he bad for the sport, but then you want to see him at a legitimate meet?
No, but I would like to see him get obliterated in a situation like that. Let him get obliterated. No more hiding. No
No
more
more
saying
hiding.
what you could do
No more.
and making people think you could do this, it could do that. No, look, you want
Yeah,
to
he
line
could
up
go there
for
with
real?
Noah. He could go to New Balance
Like
Indoor.
no one's gonna be toying around at that meet. No one's toying around at whatever in Claremont. You go to that meet, they're lining up. You can put them. Everyone's everyone's prepped.
No, 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 no. I
You'll get some real
What if what
perspective.
if he ran down that
But he would
star?
never. He would never do that. He
What
would
if he
never
did
do
the
that.
Star Athletic Sprint meet, the one that Maurice Gleaton was at? He came
that's
down there
fine.
with Christian Coleman and them. You're fine with that?
That one I'm more
I'd be
fine
fine.
with.
I'd be fine with that too. But I'm just saying, you go on
Like,
NBC. You go on NBC. You go on international television to line up against some elite sprinters in the 60s.
Yeah, because they
no,
made yeah.
That'll
I was
open
gonna
up a
say
lot of eyes really quickly to the sports world.
no.
NBC would do their best numbers with that race. They would.
Man, they probably would. But the problem is, IShowSpeed
I
is
agree.
he's a gimmick though. He's a gimmick.
He is a
DK
gimmick.
Metcalf or even Tyreek Hill, they are actual athletes. Like they are actual true athletes. And even
Well, they
DK
were,
Metcalf,
but they ran track.
they ran track, and DK Metcalf is like he's like even just a great human being, right? Like look at how he spoke in the interview afterwards. He was like giving it all up to the track athletes. IShowSpeed is gonna lose that race badly, and then he's gonna be talking so much stuff right after the race. It's just gonna there's gonna be so many excuses. Even if he gets beat, it's just not gonna be good enough for like he's just gonna circle back later on and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna race you again." Like, I don't think that would be a good look.
That'd be the end of Speed, I think.
No,
He would never do that. It would
no.
be the end of Speed. You see when he raced Nigel, right? Nigel Green, he actually thought that he was going to do more stuff with Speed. And I messaged Nigel one day and I was like, look, man, that's not going to happen. Do you think I think you should let that go because he's not going to embarrass himself like that again. You're going to keep embarrassing him. Why would he do that? He probably regrets racing you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's true.
You know, you see that clip didn't circulate. I don't even know if that's on Speed's channel.
Oh yeah, like I mean, it's out online, but it's not.
Yeah,
it didn't get this. He wasn't going to let it get out because, or at least push it out because it makes sense. It wouldn't because his platform is the biggest platform to advance something,
right?
Yeah.
Like his channels, and if he's not going to push it, it's going to be hard for it to navigate through the algorithm the same way.
Even look at how we view a race like Millrose or like New Balance Indoor Grand Prix, where I don't know, Trayvon Bromell lost Millrose. Actually, he lost, or no, I don't know if he ran. Yeah, he lost Millrose and he lost New Balance Indoor Grand Prix. Mm-hmm. But we in the track world don't look at that as super, super important. Like, okay, this race actually mattered, right?
Right.
Look at how IShowSpeed is going to get in that race, lose terribly, and gonna take that to the extreme of like this race didn't matter, this wasn't the one, whatever. Like
no,
I just don't think
it's not gonna matter if you get obliterated in the heats. And remember, there's 2 rounds there. You get obliterated. What are you gonna look like saying, well, this race doesn't mean nothing else?
Okay, so
the biggest race in his life.
IShowSpeed only goes in the heats then, or do we want the actual views?
He would never make the final.
When DK
but I'm saying, do you put him in the heats or do you put him in like the actual race?
Because then
no, he's got to qualify. Put him in the heats, yo.
Yeah, well,
then what's the point of having him?
Does Millrose have a trials?
That's a good point.
60? I don't think it does.
That's a good point.
Look at
Millrose
they can
Millrose is one round.
Yeah, they put Lisa Ray in for the women.
I was going to say,
literally called her, like not even called her. They walked up to her.
They walked up to her at the meet
and said, "Hey, do you want to run?" So we could definitely say, IShowSpeed, would you like to run?
Yeah, 2 years ago in 2023 at the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix, in the 60 meters, you had Sharika Jackson and Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone running the 60 meters, but they ran the heats and didn't qualify into the finals. Yeah. So many people were mad that they didn't get to see it because I don't think they broadcasted. Maybe they did, but like they didn't get to see. They showed a replay. Yeah. They didn't get to see live the biggest athletes in the sport. There's no way you're putting IShowSpeed with all the millions of viewers into a heat. Yeah, obviously Millrose, you know, like they're not going to do that.
Well, Millrose is different. It's New York City.
Millrose could be one. Yeah, Millrose could be one round.
I could see that.
Yeah, so it's like when they threw Nicholas Harper into the
because he was a high school kid who was already at the meet. Running in the high school section, and they just said, "Come on down."
I think
I'd rather him do that than just racing Noah at some random day in a 50 at Claremont.
So, are we all in agreement that if he decided I'm gonna run a track season and came out with a schedule and said I'm gonna be here, here, and here, did a live did his lives and all that behind the scenes, we'd be okay with that?
I would respect that.
Yeah,
I
full
don't respect
season.
what he's doing right
Okay.
now.
Even if he
Just
did,
showing up and getting some clout off of doing nothing.
even if he did
If I
one
see
meet,
him dedicate himself to the sport and train and really try to compete,
Hmm.
really try to get better, really try to test himself against other sprinters, that's a whole different ball game. What he's doing right now is it's not from a track field standpoint, it's not respectable.
okay,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
not.
If he did
No.
one, I say even if he did one meet, I would give him credit. I don't think he has to win for it to be. DK Metcalf didn't win, and we respect him. He was
Yeah.
basically
Yeah,
at the
but
back of the pack, and he wasn't running with
we
any of the
respect
big
him for the
names.
effort though. We respect him for the
Yeah,
effort. But actually
he ran
putting
like
his
10-4, right?
actually putting his money where his mouth is.
Hmm.
Speed hasn't put his money where his mouth is. He might say, "Well, I raced the fastest man in the world." That was not it. Like
Yeah.
there's thousands of people in the sprint world. Maybe he doesn't know that could destroy you. Yo, road to 9 seconds, Speed.
I mean,
The
I don't
road
know
to
if
nine
he's ready for
seconds.
the road to 9 seconds. I
Nah,
think,
man, just let's come on, man.
yeah, this man need a road. He
Look
needs
at
a
the talent
road
this
to
guy
he needs a
has.
road to
Run
six
nine.
eight in the 60. That's what he needs right now. Like the road to 6'8".
That's not catchy enough, man. That's not catchy. The road to nine speeds road to 9 seconds. Tune in for Speed's Road to nine
I
seconds.
mean, when he comes out and runs 10:69 plus
Nah,
3:0
man.
in,
Anderson says he's running 10-1, yeah.
I
He
mean,
runs 10-1.
he said he's not now.
No
I mean,
testing.
when I see when I
No
see,
testing. It's crazy.
yeah, because the thing that matters most to me was watching how the other sports though, where I mean, with the gymnastics thing, they were the specific skill he had to learn how to do, and he did like the training wheels version because they didn't want him to hurt himself, but at the same time they like helped him get that far. For the basketball and the football, they put him through the combine because that was like he could technically run on a cone and like cut and run back. But then they put him in a drills, dumbed down version of the sport
Hmm.
to see how you do. But it was still something that required sustained effort. In track, that would be the equivalent of that would be a workout. That's the equivalent.
Has he ever done the All-Star game or no? The
They're like
NBA
the
All-Star
celebrity
game.
all star. Well, he's a terrible basketball player.
Well,
So
I,
as a
I
result, I don't see
mean,
how that. Like, to go back to branding, like what he proved is that, for example, basketball. And again, people, in the comments, they've noticed I know something about basketball, and they say I may not know enough about the other sports. I mean, some people have, there's fact checking on both ends because I know a lot more than people realize. But just on this part, basketball is a skill sport. It just is. It's a skill sport that actually puts a premium on height. So as a result, it doesn't really matter how athletic you are if you don't have the skills. And he is incredibly athletic by basketball standards, especially for somebody of his height. The problem is he just lacks all the skill. And I'm saying in track and field, he has raw abilities that would be composites to make you a good sprinter, and then lacks, from what I can tell, any of the actual skill sets that a sprinter would have. And that's what the learning curve would be. But I think if he wanted to do it, he could. That's why I'm like, he'd at least make it to the 10-4 world if he tried. Now, maybe not in year one, but definitely by year two, I think.
I, I mean, I would
Yo,
love to see him line up
10-4
in
is
one of these.
fast, It's
It's
fast.
that, but he's
It
if
is.
if you can
He's
if
talented.
if he can run a faster three-quarter sprint
Yo,
than
speed.
anybody who's ever played
This is
basketball
this
in
is
the
the
NBA, then I can see how you could go 10-4.
yo, speed has he's got people thinking, man.
I mean, maybe
Yo,
not 10-4 today. Like I said, like he
not
would a
today.
year and a half.
No, I'm saying even if it's a year and a half from now, like the fact that it's a discussion that he could do something like that, which is respectable, without seeing it. That says a lot
It's
about
true. It's true.
that says a lot about
Without seeing it.
his impact, which that I can respect. That I can respect.
Yeah.
As an actual sprinter, no, I don't respect what he does right now. Until he does
That's
road to 9 seconds or lines up a Milrose.
with
Nah.
no testing, as you say.
Yeah, no testing. That's all I want to see. I'll give him that. Yo, do you don't look, man? You don't gotta test. You don't gotta do no testing. Do what you gotta do, man.
I mean,
I want to see road to 9 seconds.
no testing. Get him. He'll be at 9.8 sooner than we think. Like,
And I don't think it works
maybe
like
not. Maybe
that.
not. That's extreme. That's extreme. Yeah.
Like I don't think it
Yo,
works like
Anderson's
that.
crazy. I can have a world record.
I know. No. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it is what it is.
My name is Anderson from The Final Leg.
And I'm Coach Rob from SCA Track and Field. And thank you for watching this segment from The Finish Line.
If you want to know what's really going on at the high school and college level, be sure to subscribe to Coach Rob Track and Field.
And if you want more content on the best track and field athletes in the world, be sure to subscribe to The Final Leg.